And we are live with Dark
Live.
Souls 2.
Oh my god, we're live.
Yay.
Logging in, retrieving information. There is no new information. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the game is 3 years old at least. At least this version.
Probably.
Yeah, this version of the game is 3 years old, but the original is 7.
Jeez.
No. There's no way.
It is! The original Dark Souls 2 came out in 2011.
I don't believe you.
It says so in the title screen.
No, it came out in 2014.
Dark Souls 2?
Yeah.
The original 2?
Yeah.
Well, why does it say 2011?
Because I think that because it's Dark Souls. So it's using the copyright of Dark Souls 1.
Oh.
I knew that wasn't right because I was like, I was working at Walmart when that came out. I didn't get hired there till 2012.
I suppose. Hi, Rain.
Oh. Give me a
Rain.
goddamn heart attack here, PJ.
Okay, I know I'm online, but YouTube's telling me I'm offline. I have to be online because Rain just posted. And he posted on YouTube. And it went through. So whatever was going on last night is fixed.
Was chat not coming in from there?
Chat was not coming in from YouTube at all.
Weird.
It was coming in from Twitch just fine, so we know it's not a restream issue. In fact,
Right.
all of my issues with chat so far have been YouTube's fault.
You know
See,
what, though?
I'm not 100% sure if it was YouTube's fault. Because you could see the chat when you went to the YouTube video. It just wasn't sending the restream.
Well, who knows? Either way, it's 8:30, so now it's time for us to start. We're about to hit new game, so quiet for the opening cutscene.
Perhaps you've seen it. Maybe in a dream. A murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything. Once branded. The symbol of the curse. An augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drang Lake. Perhaps you're familiar. No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. Like a moth drawn to a flame, your wings will burn in anguish. Time after time. For that is your fate. The fate of the cursed.
Okay. I have a confession to make.
What's that?
Yeah.
I have not watched that opening FMV since the first time I've played this game.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And also, do I sound any different?
You're a lot quieter now.
Not that quieter.
Terrible?
Oh, my end, I can barely hear him.
Yeah, it sounds like you're cutting out a bit too.
Well, why did you keep messing with it? You were good.
Okay, so anyway, few things about Dark Souls 2. Oh, there is. We just haven't gotten to it yet. Okay, few things about Dark Souls 2. This game is very different from the previous game because it didn't have the same director, Miyazaki. So, a lot of people don't even consider this game canon, even though Miyazaki took its events into Dark Souls 3. Like, it took them into account, and they were compiled in the Dark Souls lore book, too, so it is canon. Just, people still argue over the canonicity of the series, well, of this game specifically. Honestly, there's really no point in it.
Yeah, it's definitely canon. It's just the real question is whether or not the events of it actually had an impact on the overarching story.
Hi, David.
And I don't really think it did.
Okay, well, the other thing about Dark Souls 2 is that this is the beginning of my ignorance. I know a lot about how to play this game. I know a lot about the environments and enemies and how to fight. But when it comes to the lore, I'm almost completely lost from this point forward. So we're going to be learning the lore together, actually looking at the item descriptions and stuff for the first time.
Yay. Also, did I fix the cutting out thing?
Yeah, you sound much better.
Awesome. Yeah, I just had to mess with the settings a little more because it turned out the mic was set to high sensitivity mode, which might be why it was so tinny and why there was so much background noise from just the air conditioner.
Okay.
Because I could hear that reverberating when I'd listen. But that seems to have stopped. And I can actually visually see the noise have stopped because when I look at my mic sensitivity on Discord, before it was just constantly halfway up the bar. Now it only pops up if I'm talking.
Hi, Aiden Vayu. Is that how you say your name? Vayu? Aiden Vayu. Oh, anyway, a few things to go over is the new menus. As you can see, you can now equip 3 weapons in your left and right hand each, and double the rings, up to 4 of them. You still have the same armor slots like before, but you also have 10 regular item slots. You get a lot of stuff. That timer here between the rings and the arrows is your torch timer. Every time you collect a torch, it adds... how? I think it's 5 minutes?
Something like that.
I think it adds 5 minutes to the timer. So it's not really collecting extra torches, it's collecting extra torch time. It's a weird mechanic.
Very weird mechanic, but it is useful. Right now, since I already had my character made, I have 19 minutes of torch time.
Where's the audio?
Where's the audio?
Aiden can't hear it. Can you guys hear the stream?
Yeah, if I turn it on, I can hear it.
You can hear me talking too?
I haven't tested it. I need to go and test it. Hold on. Also, I just posted a multi-stream link in your chat there, so if anyone wants to see what we're doing at the same time, you can go there to check it out.
Somebody tell Aiden to just refresh the page.
Okay, that multi-stream thing is like the coolest. I didn't know that was a thing.
What did it do?
No, your sound's coming in.
Yeah, it lets you watch both streams on one screen.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So you can watch both of our streams at the same time if you want. And chat can go to each of them separately, which is pretty cool.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go over some of these items. We still have the dark sign, just like in the last game, only the dark sign in this game is a bit different, because this time you can actually see it. If we take off all of our characters' clothes, this is what we look like now. Hollows in this game turn green, with blank white eyes, and on their back is a big mark on their left shoulder. It's kind of hard to see without a wall to press the camera up against, but you can kind of make it out. There's a big spiral black mark on his left shoulder.
Well, you can see the dark sign in Dark Souls 1 as well.
Could you?
Yeah. It's just a big spirally part on the to the left or the right. It's either left or right of the character's chest when they're undead. Like when they're hollow, you can see it on their chest.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It looks like knotted skin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we're not really supposed to take off your clothes at this point in the game, because we haven't actually gotten to the character customization part of the game, so our character isn't really supposed to have an appearance or even a gender. So right now we're just kind of a generic avatar, a template. Yeah, but even if you look at our stats, all of our ability scores are 1. We are as weak as we can possibly be. Yeah, but there's some new ability scores now too. Vigor and Vitality have been divided. So now Vitality maintains your equip load, and Endurance is pretty much just for stamina now. Or I guess in that case, Endurance was divided into 2 stats. And Vitality was turned into Vigor, which is your main HP stat. You still have Attunement, Strength, Dexterity, Intelligence, and Faith. And they got rid of Resistance, thank God. And they replaced everyone's favorite dump stat with everyone's favorite stat. Adaptability.
Yeah, and honestly, it half works and it half doesn't work. The entire point of it is the higher adaptability you have, the faster you can do things. So that means like drinking potions, casting spells. Do attacks get affected too? I don't know. If
attacks do not. What raising adaptability and attunement does is it raises your casting speed, which is this stat here.
Mm-hmm.
And casting speed affects drinking speed too. So you drink Estus flasks faster, which it starts off extremely slow, even slower than in Dark Souls 1. So you want to jack it up as soon as you can. There's also a new stat called Agility, which increases your invincibility frames, and that also gets raised with, I think, Dexterity and Adaptability are the 2 stats that affect it.
Something like that.
I think so. Yeah, Adaptability boosts Agility.
We did figure out that adaptability, soft caps, really quick. Do you remember when we were looking up the stats for that, PJ?
What was it, 20, 25, something like that?
Yeah, I'm getting a wiki page open so I can figure out where it was.
Most stats in this game usually soft cap around 25 to 35.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the thing about this game is that you also level up a heck of a lot faster.
You
The
do, yeah.
recommended level for beating the game in New Game is now 125 instead of 80. Now, there's a new system in this game called Soul Memory, which is the cause of much celebration and much anguish. The thing about Soul Memory is that it is now the determining factor for co-op and PvP. Now, instead of actually comparing soul level ranges, you now compare soul memory ranges. Soul memory is the total number of souls that you have collected over the course of your entire playthrough. It can never lower. Which means that if you do a hell of a lot of grinding and farming and you get your soul memory really high, and then you drop all of those souls, your soul memory will not be affected. It still went up. There are actually some rings in this game that prevent you from gaining souls that people use to keep their soul memory from rising.
Okay, I have some numbers on how agility is affected by attunement and adaptability if you want them.
Agility is affected by those two stats as well.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so
Agility is your actual animation speed.
well, what about casting speed?
That as well. Let's see. Leveling up adaptability is the primary way to raise agility, which is kind of a lie. Attunement also provides a bit smaller increases to your agility stat. Technically true, but it really underplays how much attunement can actually do for you. Agility is hard capped at 120, which you can only get if you have adaptability and attunement at 99. Increases the number of invulnerability frames when rolling, speed of drinking Estus, and rolling distance depends on your equipper, not agility. Yeah, actually no, it doesn't have anything to do with cast speed itself. I think that's just attune.
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
yeah,
anyway,
the general soft cap for agility is between 100 and 110, which if you have 30 attunement and 30 adaptability, you'll have. So most casters will probably have it.
Anyway, one other thing that I wanted to mention, among others, is that the menu now tells you how many souls are required to level up. You no longer have to go to the level up screen to see the number.
It's convenience.
Yes, very convenient. Also, there's a whole bunch of new stuff in the status screen, such as magic, fire, lightning, and dark bonus. These are all visible to you now. These are the bonuses that are added to these respective elements based on your stats. Magic is based on intelligence, lightning is based on faith, just like in Dark Souls 1, but now fire is here. You can actually boost the power of pyromancies with your stats, unlike in Dark Souls 1, which was completely independent of your stats. Fire raises with both intelligence and faith, like an average of the two, while dark is a lot harder to raise. It raises with the lower of the two. So you have to raise them both equally in order for dark to be high. But it gets high pretty fast. So does fire. So there's lots of cool stuff you can do if you're a pure caster.
Right.
Yeah. Also, real quick, cast speed is attunement, faith, and int.
Attunement, faith, and int, huh?
Yes, but attunement gives double. It is 2 times a bigger influence than int or faith are on their own.
Okay, so either way you're going to be raising attunement if you're a caster.
Yep.
Okay, you can leave messages without the use of an orange sign soapstone anymore. Orange guidance soapstone, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Orange guidance.
And use your regular, like, game settings and stuff. I've already taken care of all that. Now, let's take a look at some of these items. Like the imported hood. I didn't want to do that. Imported hood. Hemp hood that fully covers the face. Provides protection from the elements and little more. The cursed souls who wander the lands have a strange way of ending up here, as if drawn from afar by some force. So, the first bit of the story you learn is that everybody who becomes hollow via this particular curse are instinctively drawn to this kingdom. whereas hollows were kind of sent to Lordran against their will, people come to Drangleic of their own free will, almost. They're what's the word I'm looking for? Compelled. They're compelled to.
And that opening cutscene seems to imply something like you're from a different time or something and are sent back to Drangleic.
Maybe. I didn't get that at all. But yeah. Let's see. Dark Sign. An accursed mark. The dark sign induces death, returning the player to the last bonfire rested at the cost of all souls held. So it does what it did in the previous game and the next to your binding in Demon Souls. Do what you must to gather the pieces, scraping them into some semblance of a whole before the will to do so fades. What is that noise?
What noise?
It sounds like very loud clicking.
I don't know. I don't hear it.
I'm not touching anything, so I don't know.
Anyway.
Is it still happening?
Yes, it's still happening, yes.
I am
Anyway.
sitting here perfectly still, so it's not me.
Anyway. Black Separation.
I hear nothing.
Black Separation Crystal. A symbol of farewells that has been passed down since time immemorial. The crystal sends phantoms back to their homes, or sends you back to yours. Whether ending in hope or despair, encounters or valuable experiences. Beware fickle use of this item. That last line means a lot to me. Because there's a new way of summoning people in this game that I love using, but that people dick me over with so many times by using the Black Separation Crystal, and I hate them all for it.
I don't really know what you mean.
We'll get into it later once we actually obtain that method. Bone of Order. Online play item. You will be punished for fleeing from other worlds by disconnecting unjustly. However, this charm will disperse the ire directed at you. But sins are not easily buried, and there's no telling if you will be let off so easily next time. Each encounter in life is a precious turn of fate, and fate will not be cheated. So basically what it's saying is that if you Alt F4 out of the game because you're too scared of the big bad invader, then there's a chance that you'll be soft banned, and you'll need to use this item in order to get unbanned. And a new one will spawn here at the beginning of the game after 24 hours have passed. So fuck you.
So don't be me at the beginning of the Dark Souls Remastered Let's Play.
And that looks like everything I got. So, you've probably also noticed that my max health is halved. That is the cost of being hollow in Dark Souls 2. It functions similarly to the Demon Souls, but there are multiple levels of hollowing now. Not just one.
Yep.
Also, these things are goblins. They're not gonna hurt you if you don't hurt them, but we have a 1 in every stat. I'm still hearing it.
Do you hear anything, Tyler?
I hear nothing.
Kaze, try clicking the right button on your controller.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's your controller. I don't know why I'm able to hear it so well.
Are you still hearing it? Because I'm not doing anything.
Oh, now I'm hearing a bunch of other noises. Like chairs moving around and things rolling around on tables.
Well, that's just because I put my controller up temporarily. That's all.
Are you hearing anything?
Yes.
I'm not doing anything.
Well, look, if I sit here right now, my hands are on my side. I'm not moving the controller at all.
Well, I don't hear it now. I don't know. Anyway, we just picked up a rusted coin. An old rusted coin. Crushing the coin temporarily boosts luck. This rusted coin gives you that little extra bit of luck, making items and the like easier to find. The coin is engraved with the image of a god that was worshipped in ancient times, but no one knows its true origins. I wonder which god. Okay, so... luck doesn't appear to be a visible stat in this game.
No.
Even though it was in the previous two. Weird. Basically, it's just drop rate.
Was it?
What?
Was luck in the first Dark Souls?
Yeah, item discovery.
Well, that's not luck.
It is the same thing. It is the same thing.
But not in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, but don't try fucking with the goblins. You're not gonna win. And don't go through that little cave there either. Not yet. There's an
Guys?
item. Yes?
Yeah.
Can you? I'm gonna leave the call temporarily. I'm gonna come right back in. Okay.
Okay.
Are you still hearing the clicking?
Can you hear
Hold
me?
on. Hold on a sec. Okay. What'd you say, Kaze?
Are you still hearing the clicking?
I don't know. Tap your controller a bunch. Okay, I can barely hear that. Okay.
It's not my controller.
Oh well. Anyway. So, about to see a cutscene.
I...
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face. The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
What is your name?
One thing I never particularly liked about Dark Souls 2's character customization is that they make you choose your name before you can see what all of the customization options are. Like hairstyles and all that. Well, I already know what kind of character I'm gonna be playing as. So, let's call myself... oh, come on. Cornari. Hey, also, can you guys do me a favor?
See.
From now on, when I say that there's a cutscene, can you mute your mics too?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's gonna be another cutscene right now. Wait, how do I... Are you serious? Oh, I had to enter. Okay.
At least you know your own name. Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Take a closer look.
Who do you think it's supposed to be? Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Now, I'm not totally sure what human effigies are or how they work, but they all look the same. I don't think they knew you were coming. I think it's just a way for your character to remember what they look like, and then suddenly they look like it?
I think they knew you were coming in the sense that they get a lot of new arrivals to Drangleic through their place, but not you in particular. Does it seem reasonable?
I suppose. God damn it. I wish your clothes would disappear when you're deciding a build. A body build, that is.
When you zoom in on the face for detailing face, your clothes will disappear. You can also just change your class temporarily to
To pride, that's what I did.
yeah, right.
Okay, so, available starting gifts. Life Ring, which is the same as the Tiny Beings Ring in the previous game. Really not much point in taking it, really. An extra human effigy. Extra healing items, because there's healing items in this game besides your Estus Flask. You're not gonna start, or even end, with a shit ton of them like you did in the previous game. Healing functions a teeny bit more like Demon Souls now. A free Homeward Bone. Just the one. I don't even know the point. Seed of a Tree of Giants. Now this is a special item. You use the Seed of a Tree of Giants when you get invaded, and it makes all the living enemies in the area view the invader as their own enemy. And it lasts for quite a while. So if you're gonna keep getting invaded, you can use this, and it will really slow the invaders down. It's also hilarious if you're in a really, really high level place. Like if you're in New Game plus or something like that, and you get invaded in an area where all the enemies are stronger, and then you use the seed. Yeah, they won't see that coming. Bonfire Ascetic. Now, the way bonfire intensity works in Dark Souls 2 is very different than how it worked in 1. In 1, bonfire intensity just affects how many Estus Flasks you would get. It's not how it works at all in this game. In this game, the intensity of a bonfire determines the strength of that area's enemies. When you beat the game and go into New Game Plus, every bonfire in the world has its intensity increased by 1. But you can do it early by using Bonfire Ascetics. It brings all of the enemies back, it brings all of the items back, it brings the boss back. It's like going into New Game Plus for just that one area early. So you can fight a stronger and stronger boss over and over and over again and get a ton of souls, if you have the Ascetics to spare for it. And it's a pretty nifty item, but we're not going to be using them right away. Some people love using these, but it's always just been a tad bit too dangerous for me. Are you okay, Kaze?
Yeah, why?
I could be imagining things, but it sounded like you were breathing very heavily.
It'd be kind of impossible because my mic was muted until literally you asked me if I was okay.
Was that you then, Tyler?
I don't know. Maybe.
Is it the character?
Yeah, I'm fine. I do breathe heavy sometimes.
Unless my mic mute maybe isn't working.
I don't know.
And
And
some weird sound difficulties this one.
Also, while we're on the subject of sound difficulties, though, because I have to mention this, how does Kaze sound to you right now, PJ?
kind of quiet and muffled.
Yeah, because I'm wondering why he's coming in so much quieter than you. I don't understand why.
Because I messed with my settings, remember?
Well, yeah, but like it's just the level of difference is quite vast.
I messed with my settings.
Yeah.
It was on high sensitivity mode, and I turned it down.
Okay.
What's it like now?
A bit better.
How about now?
Better.
Is it usable now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
No, I
noticed
didn't
sensitivity.
hear much difference.
I did.
Okay.
Well, anyway, and the last item that you can start with is the one that I'm going to be picking, the Petrified Something. Now, in the previous 2 games, there were these invisible crow children. I'm never going to get over how ridiculous of a concept that is. Who would accept a trade of certain items once each per playthrough. Like if you got a humidity, you could trade that once, or a red titanite chunk, you could trade that once. In this game, the crows will accept any trade as many times as you want, but there's only 4 items that they'll accept. And you can get multiples of them. The Petrified Something is one of them. We also picked up another just a little bit ago, a smooth and silky stone next to the waterfall. That's also something that they'll take. Okay, and now I get to focus on actually designing my character. No lore behind the homeland settings this time around. Now you just got a few templates to work with.
Yep.
And they're all hideous except for this one.
Well, hideous is sometimes what you go for.
Yeah, they kind of are a little bit, not superhuman looking. Except for that one.
I'm not gonna spend a ton of time designing my character.
Just a little while, right?
Yeah, because we got things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I spend hours making my character's face as perfect as I possibly can. Do either of you guys remember what color Konari's eyes were?
I don't.
Remind me who Konari is?
My Dragonborn Paladin from D&D?
I think blue.
Were they blue?
I already said I don't know.
That's just what's jumping into my mind. I don't know. I can't really say for sure.
She was a Dragonborn, so I was half kind of leaning toward yellow. They tend to have yellow eyes, don't they?
I don't know.
I'll stick with yellow for now.
It'll probably look nice. What's the sign say? Oh, okay.
You know what you should have done?
What?
You should have made the character first, like, to know what settings you wanted, and then just write them down.
I've written down the statistics for Dark Souls 2 appearances before. It never works out the way it seems like it should. Because the sliders aren't 100% accurate.
Yeah, they're... I don't like the way they did it, where it's, like, next to impossible to repeat a character. Because, you know, there's no numerical values, it's just ticks.
It
Yeah,
would have been nice if there was just a way to save a character profile.
that would have been nice.
Really useful.
What I should have done, and what I was planning to do all day, but I got really caught up in that commission, was I wanted to just make this character in advance, and then start a new character just to show off the intro cutscene, and then switch back to the original.
That would have been a good idea too, yeah. Oh well. We'll be more prepped with Dark Souls 3.
Lots of prep. All the prep.
Well, we need to make a lot more prep than just, making characters for Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne. First off, all three of us are going to need a PS4, and all three of us are going to need copies of the games.
Yeah, that's actually probably the easy part. Especially with Bloodborne, considering it's, what, $15 now?
Yeah, it's not like, and actually the thing is, what's cool about that is Kaze will actually be able to stream that with us.
Yeah.
If that happens.
I can just stream from the console. I don't gotta worry about my shitty computer. Okay, I won't say shitty. My computer's still really good. It just can't handle streaming. It's not a streaming rig.
Or Super Nintendo emulators, apparently.
That, I think I solved it. I think I was using an unstable build of the game that I had for a while. I think the one I had was like 1.54 and the current one is 1.55. So I just got that and I haven't had any crashes yet, but who knows.
Also, I found this emulator last night. Some guy told me about it. Well, it's actually a series of emulators called Retro Achievement Emulators. It's pretty cool. They're just built off pre-existing emulator software, and they actually put achievements into old school games.
That's kind of cool.
Oh.
It is really cool. Yeah, it has like these custom little pop-ups that show you earned this achievement.
Shit, that sounds like a good idea.
Any idea how many games they've made achievements for?
Like hundreds. Like, because they have emulators for almost everything, like Sega Saturn, Genesis, everything, and you can just
Wait, they have a Sega Saturn emulator?
You know that we can never get those to work. There are Sega Saturn emulators. We can never get them to work though.
It might have been computer issues. Now with the kind of rigs you guys have, maybe you can.
But you remember that, right? Because there is a Saturn emulator out there. It just neither of us could get it to work, no matter how much we tried. Remember? Retro Arch has a Saturn emulator. If you've ever used that. Or Retro Arc, whichever. Which is it? Arch or Arc?
Does it have a C?
It's ACHE.
I mean an H. Yeah, if it has an H, it's Arch.
Not
Okay.
always.
Oh.
Because you can have it spelled Arch, but then it could be like Archangel.
Isn't that supposed to be Archangel then?
No. It is Archangel. I guess depending on what church you ask. Because I've heard both, actually. No one can decide which is right. Like with everything. Where did you come up with the name Cornari, anyway?
It's an actual name in the D&D Dragonborn language. I forget what it means.
Oh.
It probably just means something like paladin, or light, or greatsword, or something. I don't know. I forget.
Oh, that's nice of them. The birds were nice and gave me some twinkling.
Just twinkling?
Yeah.
Did you start with a petrified something?
No, it was a small and silky stone.
Oh.
Now let's try a normal size one. And what will they give me for that? A Titanite chunk. Good birds. And now I have the ladder unlocked. I forget what the big prize that you can get from the petrified something is.
Chandler's Trident.
Fuck. If I had known that, I would have started with that. God damn it. I need to plan better. Because I remember it was... I remember there was... What, the Demon's Great Hammer is also a thing?
Demon's Great Hammer and the strongest whip in the game, the Old Whip.
Yeah, which neither of those, I was like, I don't give a shit about the hammer or the whip, so whatever. If I'd known the Trident was there, damn it.
Okay. Actually, let me just adjust the color of her hair a little bit more. There we go. Kornoi the Paladin.
All people come here for the same reason. To break the curse.
You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
Well, you never know. Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom.
But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
Okay. And that's pretty much it for the opening cinematics. Now we actually look like a character. We got new clothes too somehow, but we still have the imported clothes in our inventory. So if you want to put those on, you can. Also, another cool feature about Dark Souls 2 is that it tracks your equipment percentage for you. Isn't that nice of them?
It's very nice of them.
I'm gonna leave the hood off for now. Let's see. Definitely want this in my left hand. Yeah, there's no more talismans in Dark Souls 2. Now the miracle casting items are called chimes. Bells.
Which is kind of cool.
I just don't really understand why.
I think they give them more, honestly, just cool factor. Because before they were literally rags.
That and this game makes a bigger deal about bells than the first game did. Just a slightly bigger deal.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to hear the little chime sound it makes when you actually cast them.
That's a change I like. And there are more actual full-length, like, wizard-style staffs than the half-sized wands that Dark Souls 1 was filled with.
Alright, life gem. Small stone made up of crystallized souls. Gradually restores a small amount of HP. Often found near abandoned corpses as if it were what remains of the soul. So, they're Final Fantasy crystals, I guess. They're crystallized spirit energy.
That begs a question. When you buy them from that one merchant, are you literally just buying them, or considering they're crystallized souls, do they just know how to do that? It's like, yeah, I can crystallize this many souls into a healing item for you. What?
I don't know. But basically, life gems function like the regeneration potions in the Elder Scrolls series. They're a slower way to heal, but they heal you over time, so they can be useful in their own way.
They're great for in-between combat healing.
I've heard that this game is completely busted if you just use those as your primary source of healing. So I'm actually going to try and do that myself, which means like I'm going to spend a majority of my souls actually just on healing items.
It's not that expensive.
Right, exactly. And I'm
Like-
going to see if that's actually the case.
You unlock the first unlimited purchase merchant really fast, and it's like 300 souls per.
Because the thing about life gems you have to take into consideration is that they stack.
Yeah, they stack. The more you use at once, the faster your HP regenerates.
And it's actually possible to survive like blows that would normally kill you by using that gradual regeneration it gives you. It's pretty crazy.
Yep. Because, especially if you use like 2 of them and then get hit, it kind of doesn't give the game time to register that you hit 0.
Like, picture this
Right.
scenario. You're about to get hit by an attack that a boss uses that's normally supposed to hit you twice in a row. And the first attack is guaranteed to break your poise and prevent you from rolling away or healing. Right before you get hit the first time, you just use 3 life gems. You're now regenerating your health at thrice the normal speed. The first attack hits you and almost kills you, but by the time the second one hits, you have enough health back to survive it.
Right, exactly.
And you didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to heal between attacks. The life gems are doing it for you.
But that's why in a lot of ways, it's one of the design choices they made that's a little less elegant than what Dark Souls 1 never did. I think is the best way I can put it.
Here's what I'm going to say about it. At first, and when you don't really understand the system, which most people didn't for most of their first playthroughs of the game,
Right.
it does make the game more difficult, which I think is what they were going for, because you have to
Right.
actually strategize. So it did that pretty well. But then, like most systems in Dark Souls, once you understand it, you can make it your bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh boy.
A small, smooth, and silky stone. A smooth and silky stone. Use to slightly restore HP. Never use it to slightly restore HP. There is a much better use for these things.
I didn't know that they could restore HP. What the fuck?
The shine of this stone is no ordinary polish and can only be achieved over a long period. Some in this land are in search of such stones. Yeah. Petrified something, an unidentified, petrified object. Pleasant to the touch despite its looks. A rare and peculiar thing to be certain, but one without a known purpose. So what the hell is this thing actually supposed to be?
I have a question about the small silky, like that stone. Is it literally just polished stone? How does it heal you? I'm confused.
Don't ask that question.
Okay.
Dark Souls. Why?
Time's convoluted.
Hey. Mace, a club fitted with a head crafted for battle. The mace is the archetypal blunt weapon that has a primitive appearance but also many advantages, including the ability to break the guard of a shield. Just hammers and stuff do that. Keep the proper distance from your foe, and this can be a very effective weapon. Cleric's Sacred Chime. Most clerics receive this as their first Sacred Chime, a catalyst for miracles and hexes, which is another thing we'll be talking about. To use miracles, equip a Sacred Chime and attune a miracle at a bonfire. The strength of most miracles is affected by the caster's faith. Yep, so hexes are kind of their own thing now. In Dark Souls 1, they were just a special kind of sorcery that did a mix of physical and magical damage. Now, hexes are sorceries that deal dark damage and have their own bonus in the status screen. They go off of both int and faith. Yeah, but only certain... I forget, can all chimes cast hexes, or is it just certain ones, and like particular ones?
I think there are a couple that can't.
Yeah, I figured. So it's random. You need to find hex casting catalysts.
I don't recall at all.
And Archdrake robes. Robes of the Archdrake sect of Lindelt. Little is known about the Archdrake sect and its ancient rituals, and those who dare to indulge their curiosity have been known to simply vanish. The Archdrake sect are the keepers of Lindelt's histories, including the only record of its foundation, a tome they have good reason to keep hidden away. Okay, so my character is from Lindelt, and as far as memory serves me, there's only one other NPC in the game who's from there, and who is also a cleric.
The confusing thing is that you can't actually complete that set of armor until pretty late in the game.
Yeah, it's weird. You start with the robes, but not the rest of it.
Yeah, it's very strange.
How do I use torches again?
You have to light them at a fire.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, apparently my character does not start with the strength necessary to wield its starting weapon one-handed.
What? The fuck, Dark Souls 2?
Well, if it doesn't give you a shield, it makes sense.
I know, that's still fucking strange, right?
I suppose. Alright, I'm gonna talk to these old ladies now. Oh, right, I forgot. 2 of the 3 only laugh. Let's just talk to this one.
You must go on a journey without rest. Well, I suppose if you find yourself at an impasse. But if your will is yet unbroken, then you may return here to start again with a clean slate.
Okay, I'm hearing that loud clacking again.
It definitely can't be me because my mic's been muted this whole time.
So is it you, Tyler?
Must just be my controller. Nothing I can do about that.
Okay, well, let's talk to this lady now.
This is a limbo. A link between Drangleic and the outer world. Fair traveler, I know that you must have a story. Why else would you visit such a place? This lost, decayed kingdom.
I forget. Oh yeah, I remember now. There's a way to get her to give you a unique weapon, but it's not even worth it. It's just there for completionist's sake.
Yeah, do you remember how? Because if not,
I remember how. It'll be a while before we can do it, though.
Will it?
Yes, because they changed the way it works in Scholar of the First Sin. You can't do it right away.
Oh, yeah, because of the,
Yeah. Okay.
I already have one of the things if I wanted to go do it.
It's not worth it.
Well, kind of. There's a flask shard down there.
There is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll explain flask shards later. Let's see. Human effigy reverses hollowing. A warm, soft, shadow-like effigy that also weakens the links to other worlds, preventing invasions and most cooperation. Peer closely at an effigy and one begins to perceive a human form, but whose form it takes depends on the person looking. That's worded kind of weird. It doesn't do quite what it says it does. It makes it sound like if you used an effigy to regain human form, then you're cutting off the connection to other worlds, but in fact, that's actually just a second use of it. You can burn human effigies at bonfires to prevent invasions. That's all it's for.
And this is another big change from Dark Souls 1. You don't have to go to a bonfire to become human. You can just use the effigy from your inventory anywhere.
Anywhere. Just like this.
Like, if you're having trouble getting to a boss gate without getting invaded, you can just kill yourself, run to the gate, pop an effigy, and summon right at it.
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure it's possible to be invaded even when hollow.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't recall that being the case at all, but alright. I mean, you played it more than we have, so you're probably right.
Okay, before I go back out there, let me go through here and rest at this bonfire. First bonfire. Might as well take a quick look at its menu. Yeah, so right from the start of Dark Souls 2, you have the option to teleport to any bonfire you've been to ever. The only game in the series that doesn't let you do this is Dark Souls 1. Which is a shame. Spell attunement is pretty simple. Also, you've probably noticed already, but all of the inventory menus are arranged in a grid now instead of a single column, which is way, way better. Right?
Huh.
What?
You're right. You can be invaded while hollow. It's just humans take priority. Interesting.
What do you mean by humans take priority?
When someone is searching for a world to invade, they're more likely to invade the world of a human.
Okay, that makes sense. Soul of a Lost Undead and a torch. Yeah, so now that we have a torch, when we come over to the bonfire, we can toggle the option now and select light torch. We have one torch, and that gives us a 5-minute timer, which ticks down for as long as we're holding the torch. If we ever roll in water, or put the torch away, then the timer will stop. You don't need to have a torch equipped or anything, but you'll see that the timer in that little box down there has gone up. And if we ever light the torch again, it will keep ticking down from there. Pretty simple stuff.
This is a little bit unrelated, but I wanted to mention it. When I was loading this game up for the stream, I checked the update notes for Dark Souls Remastered to see if anything has changed. Apparently, they did update Remastered again, and they've actually, I think I heard that they actually fixed the one bug that makes it so that the egghead bug that like invaders can do.
Yeah.
Or the hack thing. I think they fixed that, so that can't happen anymore. I believe. So I'm just surprised. What?
It's about time they did something.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so this big oaf over here, I believe is called an ogre. Although they should call him a cyclops because he has one eye.
Ogre is correct.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
Yeah, but these guys are really strong. They will kill you if you're a noob. But I know all of their attack patterns, and I'm not afraid.
Magic also makes them, somewhere between kind of annoying and pathetic.
Come on. The best time to hit these guys is when they land on the ground like that. And them falling over like that is just as likely to hurt you as their swipes. So, keep your distance. And if you can't figure out where you're backing up to, just lock off, turn around, and run away. And then wait for his position to reset. Let's see. Yeah, he's going back up. And you can see his footprints in the ground. That's meant to warn you. Whew. Man, he turned around fast there. Got him.
Also, this is something that really only people who got Dark Souls 2 when it first came out. Remember the big, is controversy the right word? That happened in regards to like how the lighting engine changed from the preview to the final game?
It's controversy.
Yeah. Controversy. Okay. All right. It's just funny how stupid that was.
The preview, I don't think it was stupid. Because they sold, like a lot of the early marketing around the preview was, this is how Dark Souls is going to be. It's going to have this amazing lighting. You're going to actually have to use the torches. It's going to feel dark. It's going to feel claustrophobic. And people were really hyped up for that. But then when the actual game came out, that was all gone. All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they adjusted it for Scholar of the First Sin.
A little.
Now there are a couple of extremely dark places that you do need light sources to see in.
Yeah, sadly it is still one of those cases where to get the game we were promised, you need to mod it.
Right.
Okay. And the thing that this guy drops is the stone ring, which is one of my favorite rings. You equip it, and it lets you pierce through poise easier. It lets you break people's poise much easier, with pretty much any weapon or spell. And gold pine resin. You know what that does. Good old pine.
Gotta love those pine trees giving me access to lightning magic all the time. Don't you love pine trees?
They're pretty amazing.
Which, you know, it's weird still because, you know, the mushroom people aren't in this game. So it's like, where's it even coming from?
You know what's really confusing to me? If you look at the golden pine resin, it looks like it's a powder, don't it?
Let me check. Well, didn't it kind of look like that before? Isn't that why it's called resin?
Well, no. That's the thing. Resin isn't powder. It's a liquid.
Right.
It's a liquid?
Yeah.
Resin's a liquid. And when it's closer to, like, you know, the temperature most trees are in, it's mostly solid. Like, resin is kind of plastic. It's a natural plastic, essentially.
Huh.
And you can add hardeners to it to make it as hard as plastic, which is why it's used in the modeling world.
Anyway, let's see. Stone ring. The beloved ring of the gallant, shieldless Lothian, formerly of Ferosa. Hits greatly reduce enemy poise. The effect may seem trivial, but for those who comprehend how critical it is to exploit a hole in enemy defenses, the significance of this ring will be clear. It's clear to me. I love this ring. I always make sure I get it as soon as I can.
Well, it's not hard to get.
It's not hard to get, and it's super fantastic for early game. I mean, it's actually just kind of fantastic all around, but for new players, it'll help them a ton.
Okay, so this area that I just entered, this weird canyon-like area, this is the Things Betwixt tutorial area, which is completely optional. You can just walk perfectly straight and you'll end up at the main hub without having to do any of the tutorial stuff. Yep. But we're going to go through as much of it as we can. Now, any lit braziers, is that the right pronunciation? Brazier?
I believe so.
Okay. Any lit brazier can let you light a torch, not just bonfires. So you can do this, and you can go over to this one and light it. And if you light all the braziers in the Things Betwixt, then that handmaid lady will give you a weapon. But it's currently impossible, because in Scholar of the First Sin, they added a petrified enemy in front of one of the tutorial spots, and we're going to need an item to remove him. We cannot pass him. So we'll just have to come back for that after we've gotten a surplus of those items. It's really not all that important to me to remove him as soon as possible, so you might be waiting a while.
Aside from, again, there's a Estus shard there, which, do you want to explain how the Estus flask works now?
Basically...
We already talked about the other healing items.
Something just died. I don't know what, but I got 200 souls. Okay. Well, anyway. After we get our Estus flask, we're only going to have one use of it. And you use Estus flask shards with the lady who helps you level, like in Demon Souls, in order to increase the number of uses that your flask gets. And it caps at 12 in this game, unlike 20 in Dark Souls 1.
You can get them pretty quick. Like, I've only killed 2 bosses. I have 4 shards on it already. Well, 3 shards. I have 4 flasks.
Yeah. And there's also another item in this game called Sublime Bone Dust, which you burn at bonfires in order to increase the strength of your flask and make you heal more per drink.
Yep. Pretty useful.
Yeah, so all these weird tombstone-like things can be read to tell you what the controls are. And all these weak-ass hollows everywhere for you to test out your new powers on. Your powers...
You wake up in an unknown land, not sure who you are, you walk up to a tombstone and it says, press B to dash. You would start thinking you were having a stroke.
I think I was supposed to backstab that one, but since I have to double hand this weapon, I can't. Huh.
You can't backstab with double handing?
No.
Why not?
You just can't. It doesn't let you.
That doesn't make any sense,
I
but
think
okay.
it does let you, but you were a little too far away.
Because I'm gonna say, because like I'm almost certain that one of the biggest speedrunning strats is to do backstabs with double handing weapons. So I'm pretty sure that you can.
Yeah, because he was just at the edge of your range, and they changed it so you have to be like directly up an enemy's butthole in Dark Souls 2 to backstab them.
Kind of. Yeah, that's another thing. Every sequel makes critical hits harder to do than the last.
Yeah.
Except for Dark Souls 3.
What do you mean?
It's not hard at all in Dark Souls 3. It's basically the same as Dark Souls 1.
It's not. It's in between 2 and 1. It's like somewhere in between. Actually, it's in between Bloodborne and 1. Because Bloodborne made it way different. But also, they made it easier in some ways because you can parry things that are behind you. Which is weird.
Well, you can parry things that are behind you in Dark Souls 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you were still talking about Bloodborne.
No. There's no parrying in Bloodborne. There's well,
Isn't
Well,
there?
there's a form of it. There's a form of it.
Yeah, there's
the pistol parry or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different mechanic. Like it's a parry, but it's a different way. Like you can't parry something behind you when shooting in front of you, But in Dark Souls 3, you can parry things like to your back right by swinging your shield up left.
Okay. So we went all throughout this big old tree. And it's only just now telling me how to use the right joystick to move the camera. Thank you, Dark Souls 2. And when we come over to this nest, we're gonna start getting spoken to.
Birds.
You, give it smooth. Yes, you! Give us Silky!
Now, isn't that adorable? Dark Souls 2 has twin crows. Their names are Dinah and Tillo. I don't know what
their names.
Yeah.
That sounds so unfamiliar to me. I don't think I've ever actually heard it.
Yeah, their names are Dinah and Tillo. I'm not entirely sure what their names mean, though, but they like smooth and silky things. I don't know if they're both girls or if it's like one boy and a girl. I think they're both girls. I think every crow child in the game is a girl. In the series is a girl. Okay, so we go to our inventory, and another great thing about the crows in this game is that you can drop multiple items, but don't drop more than 30 or they'll start despawning. And you don't have to reload the game in order for the trade to go through.
You, give it smooth.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Shut up.
Yes, you! Give us Silky!
Give us Silky. Give us smooth.
Yeah. So you drop everything, and they thank you.
Yeah! Silky smooth!
Yeah.
And then you can pick up everything. Everything automatically gets traded. Shut up. Soul of a Proud Knight, which is not a fantastic trade. And the old whip. I really wanted this whip in my last character, and I tried so hard to get it. And I get it right away with this one.
Thank you.
I'm so angry I'm gonna kick this ladder.
Fuck you, ladder. What'd you ever do for me except lad things? Wait. Actually, that's a question. Every word in history that ends in ER means that at some point its root was a verb. What is to lad?
I guess to climb. Or to make accessible.
That's... Old words are funny.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I wanted to talk about falling real quick. There's a very annoying mechanic in Dark Souls 2 regarding falling. For starters, you take a shit ton more fall damage in this game than you did in the previous one. But also, there is a chance that if you keep holding in the joystick, you'll automatically roll at the end of a fall. And that can get you killed pretty easily.
Murdered.
Yeah, so you gotta be super careful when you fall. Alright, now what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I hate how the origin of my name is so boring.
What, that it's like a steamboat or something? Battleship?
No, not my net handle, man. I'm talking about my real name.
Oh,
Tyler.
okay.
Tiles.
Yeah, I tile roofs. That's so boring. Like, that's so stupid.
I have no idea what my name's origin is.
I'll look it up.
I mean, I know that there are a few kings with my first name, but that doesn't matter to me. Okay, Dark Souls 2 was the first game to make jumping, well, actually, Dark Souls 1 was the first game to have jumping, so Dark Souls 2 just changed the button. Yes, it is.
This.
It is the origin of Tyler. It's just Tyler. One who tiles.
Okay.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The origin of Philip, let's see, derived from Latin Philippus, which is from the Greek Philippos, lover of horses.
Well, that's me.
If only your parents knew you'd be a brony when they named you.
Well, I haven't been a brony in a few years, you know that.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's still fucking funny.
Anyway, time to make this jump. And I made it.
Is that show even still going on?
Yeah,
It is, yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in it now.
I can't imagine it's any good now.
I still can't imagine. I still can't believe they gave the Crusaders cutie marks. I can't believe that.
They did.
A long time ago. Years ago.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, character growth, okay.
Do you know that Shining Armor and Cadence have a kid?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the last thing I did was like half of season.
Yeah, they brought back a villain from the original series too. As
Tyrek.
well. Yeah, Tyrek came back. Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Tyrek was in the original My Little Pony movie. He was basically this giant minotaur who could turn ponies into evil ponies.
Oh, and don't forget about the actual movie. In theaters that happened.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
movie.
with that one pony character with like the broken horn or whatever.
Yeah, and like the
I don't know her
oddly
name.
and the oddly attractive bird people. Yeah.
Plunge attack.
OABP, oddly attractive bird people.
Oh yeah, and there's a dragon princess now named Ember.
Yeah, Ember. Yep. And she's like, of course, tsundere as shit, and it's hilarious.
It's tsundere.
Whatever.
PJ, you know as well as me, Tyler is not nearly weeb enough to give a fuck.
Yeah.
He just is, despite
Okay.
the fact that he's a massive JoJo fan.
Why is there a word for people who like pronouncing Japanese words correctly, and not one for people who pronounce other languages correctly?
Well, I don't really consider weeb to be that. Weeb is more just like, you're a...
The actual definition of weeb is someone who's oddly obsessed with Japan. We're not. We're using it ironically.
Right.
Oh, anyway. Cracked Red Eye Orb. Online play item. Invade other worlds. Defeat the master of the world you have invaded to acquire a token of spite. The residual sins of those who have succumbed to dark temptations are contained in the form of the Cracked Red Eye Orb. Now, tokens of spite and tokens of fidelity are the stupidest shit ever. Basically, they're both covenant items. You get tokens of fidelity for helping people beat bosses, and tokens of spite for killing other players when you invade them. But you only need one of each. You need one in order to join the covenant, and then every token of fidelity after that is consumed in order to participate in its respective covenant's PvP arenas. But in the other covenant, you only need one token of spite, and you can use its PvP arenas infinitely. So you only need one. I really don't get it. I don't know why you'd bother trying to get more tokens of spite.
Don't they have an actual use? Because I think to level up those covenants, you need
to turn them in? I don't think so. I think you just have to kill other people while you're in the covenant.
Let's see. You can use this item to join that land. I'll keep researching.
Okay, and in this area, this is the first area where messages and stuff are allowed to be put. And people love filling this area with useless messages. Secret ahead. Yeah, that's a lie. How are there even bloodstains here? How are they dying? There's no enemies and... Yeah?
Yeah, are they just walking off edges?
I don't know.
But yeah, you do definitely need a bunch of tokens of fidelity if you want to rank up that covenant. Because in order to rank them up, you have to get victories in their PvP. In the other one, you don't consume the tokens by entering PvP, so you technically only need one, but you still need victories anyway, so you get more.
Yeah. Praise the sun, or give it up. Rating 620. Alright, good night, David.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. If you level up the covenant with the that requires the tokens of spite, at ranks 1 and 2, your aura as a red spirit changes.
Oh, I think I knew that at one point, but I forgot it.
Yeah, you get a red aura and then a neon red glow.
Okay, moment of silence, please. Majula. Praise the sun! Yep. Welcome to the hub. This is Dark Souls 2's version of the Firelink Shrine. Though not quite so important. It's kind of just a place where people gather. Although maybe it is important.
Well,
because
I would say it's a lot more important than Firelink was.
Well, I'm not an expert on the lore, so.
Well, no, like not even lore, just in function.
Well, there's also the fact that its bonfire is called the Farfire, and whenever, you know, a major part of the story is completed, it's usually where you're taken.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can drop down to here, and then to here, but all that's down here is an extra cleric's sacred chime. So if you don't start as a cleric, this is how you get your first chime. Well, it's the earliest method that people use to get their first chime, but yeah. You can also get a morning star, which is probably gonna be a better weapon for me, maybe? That's, no. Crap. It's actually much weaker.
What, does it still have its bleed effect from Dark Souls 1?
Let me see. A club fitted with a spiked head. The spikes of this blunt weapon cause bleeding. Normally wielded by clerics, but clearly intended to draw blood.
So I suppose that gives it a benefit.
Okay, let me see. 169. And then I am double-handing it. Oh, I guess I don't have the dex requirement? Yeah, because my dex is super low right now.
So if you did have it, it might be better, actually.
Probably. I'll get the chance to level up in a bit. Binoculars! which are a bit easier to use in this game than they were in the previous one. Because you equip them like a weapon. You can't use them like a weapon, but yeah. Also, it is possible to get up there by jumping up to it, but it's very, very difficult and you're likely to fall. It's best to just fall from above. Here's our bonfire. Which we'll go ahead and sit at that. And as you can see, we can teleport to the things betwixt bonfire at any time. And it even tells you each bonfire's intensity in the top right. For at least this first playthrough, I'm going to be keeping them all at 1. No aesthetics. And then down here, we meet a woman wearing a green cloak. We'll just go ahead and talk to her.
Are you the next monarch? Or merely a pawn of fate? Bearer of the curse, I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey. Go on and see the king. He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick.
You may level up by the power of the Emerald Herald. Yep, so that's what pretty much everybody refers to her as. It's even how she's tagged on image boards, which is a shame because she has a name that she reveals to you at the end of the game. I don't know. Everyone just calls her the Emerald Herald.
Then that's technically a spoiler, isn't it?
What? No. She has a name.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm saying that if her name is only revealed at the end of the game, that would make it a spoiler.
Only if you said what the name was. It's
Well, yeah, well,
it's
on an image board, that... Yeah, that's why she's not tagged.
Right. That's why she... Okay. That doesn't stop
Yeah.
other names from being spoiled. Like Lightning's real name in 13.
Yeah, but again, that's... You learn that much, much earlier in the game.
No, you don't. You learn that...
Yeah, you do.
You learn that only as early as, like, the 3rd disc.
No, you learn it in the first disc.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. There's a flashback where they tell you what her real name is.
I can guarantee you that there is not.
I played that game like 3 times.
So
there
have I.
definitely is. Yeah, there definitely is.
It's not revealed until later.
Okay.
Anyway, talk to her again.
Bearer of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid.
It's not a fight. We have these weird little... I don't even know what you'd call them all the time. Where one of us remembers something differently from a game and the other has to end up proving it.
Right, yeah. It's not... We're not really fighting.
Happens all the time. It's not even a big deal. So we don't get too upset about it. Anyway, let's take a look at that flask that she just gave us. A green glass bottle of unknown make. Fill it with Estus at a bonfire and drink from it to restore HP. The nature of the link between the Estus flasks and the bonfires that illuminate the world of the undead is entirely unknown. But that is of little concern, for any undead knows the value of these precious flasks. Oh, we also got these. Amber Herb. An annual herb with an amber color so deep it gives the impression of luminescence. Restores a small number of spell uses. It is the mistaken belief of many that the flowers of this herb do not blossom. However, small white flowers do blossom during dusk when the moon is visible. So, this game has items that let you restore spell uses. They are not completely finite like they were in Dark Souls 1. And Divine Blessing. Holy water endowed with a divine blessing cures status effects and fully restores HP. Water blessed by an ancient goddess. Her name is long forgotten, and the Magic Academy of Melphia denies even her existence. In any age, there are those who refuse to see reason. It is their meddling that distorts the truth. So, pretty sure it's talking about Guinevere.
Wouldn't know.
What do you mean? The Divine Blessings were in the previous game, and they mentioned these as being directly related to Guinevere.
I know that, but that doesn't mean anything now. Especially with how much time is between both games. There's no guarantee that's the case any longer. And it could be that other people have connections to the Divine Blessings that we don't know about. That's why I'm saying that I don't know enough to give an answer to that.
Well, yeah, but... that's the best answer I have right now, with the information I possess. Okay, let's look at some of these. Yeah, so daggers and stuff do higher critical damage, just like in the past game. Old Whip, a leather whip that has seen plenty of use. It appears no different than an ordinary whip, but is charmed by an ancient blessing that boosts damage inflicted on hollows. The blessing is likely the work of a cleric, but whether the spell is good or evil is unclear. Effect: attack boost against hollows. So, not only does the Old Whip have the highest attack power of all the whips, but it does even more damage against hollow enemies, which there are a lot of. But it has one major downside, and that's that it has really, really, really low durability. It breaks very fast. And it breaks even faster than other weapons with low durability because it loses durability every time it hits the environment. So if you hit an enemy and a wall at the same time with one attack, it'll drain like thrice as fast. But it's still strong. I was going to use it for my other character because she primarily used whip, but I was never able to get it. Binoculars. Used to peer at distant sights. Equip in place of a weapon to use. A rare tool crafted in Volgan. These won't help you in battle, but with a little creativity, can be put to good use. Yeah, basically it's telling you that you can use them to aim your spells. I never read this. Oh wait, no, I did. There's no lore in that. Okay, let's talk to her some more.
Seek those whose names are unutterable. The four endowed with immense souls. Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away.
So, just like in Dark Souls 1, we are told that in order to see the king, we need to claim the souls of 4 special beings. Of course, we're not told their names this time, like we were in the previous game. They're being kept a complete secret.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically the second half of Dark Souls 1 is used as a template for the first half of Dark Souls 2. And when we get to the halfway point, things will become disappointingly linear. Yeah, but there are ways around that. Oh, I'm not done talking to her. Let's talk to her again.
Bearer of the curse. Seek souls. Larger, more powerful souls. Seek the king. That is the only way. Lest this land swallow you whole, as it has so many others.
Okay, and you can upgrade Estus Flask if you have an Estus Flask shard, which I don't, and level up with her, just like you could with the Maiden in Black. And I really don't have that many souls at all. Really, the first thing I should do is start boosting my dex so that I can actually use some decent weapons.
After that, you might want to save up to buy the ring as quickly as possible, because it's 5,000 souls.
Oh yeah, that ring.
That is going to be pretty necessary.
Yeah, if we're gonna be playing this together. Okay, let me not level up at all then.
Alright, there's something I'm gonna have to ask you guys.
Yeah.
I'm the one, I don't know if I want to do it, but it would be a really good idea. I don't think P just met him yet. I'll say it once you meet him. The other guy in town.
I've only spoken to the Emerald Herald so far.
Yeah, you can go and speak to him, and then we'll go from there. Alright.
Okay. Meet this game's version of the Crestfallen Knight and the Crestfallen Warrior. I think this guy actually has a name? I don't recall. But he's another crestfallen person who basically tells you to give up, only he's actually useful. So let's talk to him.
You're undead, aren't you? You have that distinct scent, the smell of irreversible fate. This is Majula. It is a kind of settlement. A place where life is almost normal. And in Drang Lake these days, there are very few places like that. I am Solden.
Solden.
And like you, I lost everything. And now I'm here. You probably heard that it was possible to break the curse here. Well, that's not true at all. There's nothing here for you, me, or anybody.
Hey Tyler, could you mute your mic? Thank you.
Do you know much about souls? Even I'm not certain, but I'm told that the soul is the essence of life itself. Anything living, sentient or no, supposedly has one. What we call the curse is traceable to the soul. Do you see what that means? To be alive, to walk this earth. That's the real curse, right there. We undead will never die. And that's quite a predicament, really. There are 4 beings in this land with giant souls. And wherever you go from here, you will sooner or later come up against them. Each has a powerful soul and a terrible curse. If that frightens you, then you ought to just give up right now, like I have. Do you ever cry out for help? The journey of an undead is long and treacherous. You'll face invaders from other worlds at every turn. If you need help, why not proclaim faith in the Blue Sentinels? When you face danger, the Blue Sentinels will come to your aid. Protection is yours, if you wish. You need only accept their kind embrace.
Right? And you are given the option to join the Way of Blue Covenant, which is similar in ways to the Way of White Covenant, but it has nothing to do with enhancing miracles or anything like that. Basically, members of the Way of Blue are able to connect to each other more easily, of course. But as long as you are a member of the Way of Blue and you wear its respective ring, then members of another covenant called the Blue Sentinels will come to your aid if you ever get invaded, like during the invasion, which is a bit different than the way the Dark Moons worked in Dark Souls 1. So I'm gonna say yes.
That it is a wise decision. People are weak, but the Blue Sentinels watch over us in their benevolence. Let the Sentinels cradle you in their embrace.
Okay. So now I'm a member of the First Covenant. Now, this monument here, it says the letters are worn beyond recognition. There was a brief point early in Dark Souls 2's life cycle where the words actually said something. And I don't know what.
It was, I think, specifically in, I think, like the Polish version of the game after one patch.
Yeah, but I don't know what they were planning on doing with this, but it doesn't do anything now. It will never say anything.
If I remember correctly, it originally actually had the number of total deaths across the entire game and every player.
No, that's on this side of the monument.
That's on the other side? Okay.
Yeah. It's 281,285,996 deaths worldwide.
What I hate about this, what I hate about this game is the fact that it's no longer possible to get 100% completion, and that makes me kind of mad.
Well, there are event items, yeah, which are just like reskins and stuff, but as long as you don't count them, you can still 100% the game.
Yeah, but like, you know, that doesn't change the fact there's still items that are in the game's code that are no longer accessible.
Dark Souls 1 had that too.
What?
It had the Elite Cleric set and the Blacksmith set.
Well, but there's a difference. Those were never accessible to the player, ever. These items in this one were.
Well, they're still accessible. They're just reskins. So if you can get the texture, you can just put them on.
True, but there's no way to earn them legitimately.
But yeah, there is, because they are stat for stat exact copies of their normal version.
Yes, but they don't look the same, which means they still count as separate items.
I suppose. I mean, Tyler is right, but it's still not a big deal.
Yeah. But yeah, the plaque as of patch 1.08 for a while read, let's see, seek the land of an... Oh, hold on, no. That was just to tell you how to get to the Sunken King DLC. There was another thing it said.
So, it's just to tell you how to get to one of the DLC areas?
In English, it was.
Okay.
There was another version that had it say something. And I'm trying to find, because I remember it was pretty significant lore-wise.
Alright, so now we're going to talk to this guy, who, if you look at his face, you can see that he's started to hollow. He has green skin and white eyes. I don't know why he never just reverses the hollowing. I mean, there's plenty of human effigies to go around, I should think. And he never leaves this area to get killed by enemies, so... I don't know why. I guess he chooses to remain in this form. But we're going to talk to him now.
Who are you? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant. But now somebody's gone and locked the door.
There's a big open window right next to you. Oh well, we can't get in there, so I guess he can't either. Yeah, I've tried getting into this building using every method I could. There's no way to platform your way in.
But I found what the text said.
Yes?
It was in the Portuguese version for some reason. It said, The giants crossed the seas, perhaps to return home.
Okay.
Which raises questions.
But yes, it's even if you look into like other ways, like even tassing the game, for example, there is no way, as of the current patch of the game and release, to get inside of that building without opening the door.
Yeah. So
Just
you
to
need
verify that.
So you need to go get the key.
But in case you're unaware, though, because I don't know. Well, you guys don't watch speedruns, but when this game was released on 1.0, the original game, this game was fucking busted. It was broken beyond belief. It was actually really easy to get out of bounds almost anywhere, and you could just walk pretty much wherever you wanted. In fact, the main
I've seen videos to that effect. Yes.
Yes, the game was busted.
Okay. Now this message that I just read says trap ahead. It's absolutely right. I'm gonna vote it up. So right here is a few homeward bones. So that's pretty nice. 5 homeward bones right there. So again, why would you pick it as a starting gift? It's just 1. If it was like 10 homeward bones, it might be useful, but no. Anyway. Be wary of despair. Try bravery. Yeah, so this big monument right here, you can kneel at it, and it's called the Victor's Stone. You can offer these things called Awe Stones, or you can enter a covenant. It asks, this will set you upon an arduous path. Okay to join this covenant? Yes. Are you prepared to join this covenant? Yes. Abandon your covenant and join the company of champions. It asks you 3 times.
Yep.
Do you really want to join this covenant? And I'll just say yes for now.
Which, he's going to explain to you, like, the actual, like, effects of it. But this is arguably the most important covenant in the game.
Okay, here's how the Company of Champions works. And you'll see I have a unique icon in the top left corner that displays what covenant I'm part of. And I just received an item called the Champion's Tablet. Online play item. Shows the names of the greatest victors of the Company of Champions Covenant. This tablet, chiseled from the Victor's Stone, is engraved with the names of the brave warriors who have offered the most Awe Stones, as if they were epitaphs honoring their lives. Here is how the Company of Champions works. When you are in this covenant, you cannot do co-op at all. You can't summon any phantoms, not even NPCs. And all of the enemies are twice as strong. But you can still be invaded. And every time you kill an invader, and I think a boss, you receive an Awe Stone. Naturally, you have to do all of that solo, with invaders and double strength bosses, in order to offer Awe Stones to this covenant. And basically, this is the biggest digital dick size calculator in the series, pretty much.
Yep. Yeah. You also can farm Awe Stones off of certain enemies that have low drop rates.
Yes, but even if you don't just want to show off by beating the entire game in the Company of Champions or getting really high Awe Stone donation rate, the other effect of the company is that enemies don't permanently despawn, which is a mechanic I haven't explained yet. For every bonfire, there is an area of enemies that bonfire covers. Like, the things betwixt bonfire, for example, covers all of the enemies in that area, like the ogre and all of the hollows in the tutorial area. If I were in the Company of Champions, I could go there and all those enemies would be twice as strong. But if I killed any one of those enemies a total of 10 times, that enemy would stop spawning. It wouldn't come back when I rested a bonfire until I use a bonfire aesthetic, until the intensity of the bonfire raises, which could be done with an aesthetic or going into New Game Plus. But what this means is that there are some enemies that you might want to farm items off of, that you can only kill them so many times before they just poof, go away forever.
And like Dark Souls 1, this has sort of mini bosses in the form of a particularly mean variety of knight, which only spawn once.
Not sure what you're talking about, actually,
The
but
Hate Knights.
well, do they only spawn once?
Yes.
Pretty sure they spawn infinitely now, at least as many times as the other enemies.
I don't know. They don't, because I've killed one. I've killed two actually, and they only respawn when I'm in the Covenant.
Oh. Well, anyway, yeah, the point is that this Covenant makes it so that you can keep killing enemies even after their spawn timers have run out. I say timers because I couldn't think of a better word.
Counter.
Spawn counters. Okay. Yeah, but I do not want to be a part of this Covenant. No thank you. So I'm just gonna go back and rejoin Way of Blue.
Do you feel?
Yeah. The nice thing is, you can actually completely clear an area, and then if you decide you want to farm something there, rejoin in the Covenant, respawns everything.
May you find peace.
Yeah, they'll come back even if you've permanently despawned an enemy, as long as you're a part of the Covenant.
And then, if you leave the Covenant, they disappear again.
Question. Can you lower an enemy's spawn counter while in the Covenant of Champions?
I don't think.
Huh. So, you could kill an enemy 20 times the first time around, and then it would still have all 10 of its spawns left in a different Covenant?
I believe so.
Yeah. Even if that's not how it works, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because as long as you're in the Covenant, it don't matter. All the enemies will be there.
Okay. Now, there is an item over here I have to go grab, and there are still a few NPCs I need to talk to. Actually, just a couple off the top of my head. Let's go in here first. This is technically the armor shop, though people rarely actually buy anything from this guy. It's kind of sad.
I mean, there are some reasons to.
Yeah, because don't certain things happen if you spend so many souls on him?
He gains new sets of armor.
Yeah, new inventory. Titanite shard. Also, the ascension and upgrading system in this game has been changed to my preferred system. Basically, everything in the game, like this mace for example, can only go up to plus 10, not plus 15. And that requires 3 level ups with Titanite shards, 3 level ups with large shards, 3 level ups with chunks, and the last one's a slab. And if you ascend it, it doesn't get rid of those upgrades. You never have to undo those. You can ascend it to any one of the other ascension paths, and all it does is like... how do I put this? It kind of like turns it on. So if you have a mace plus 7, then you can turn it into a fire mace plus 7, and then immediately turn it into a poison mace plus 7, and you don't have to worry about undoing anything. So it's pretty cool. Did you guys have something to add to that?
Nope.
Okay, well I'm going to talk to this guy now.
Hello there. Welcome to my shop. I'm Morlin, and I sell armor. Oh, sorry, Please do have a look at my wares. I could really use the business. If you'd be so kind.
Is Molin the first black character in the series?
Perhaps.
I think he might be.
Anyway, yeah, you can tell he's very wishy-washy and not particularly confident. It's almost like he's begging you to buy things from him. But yeah, he buys a bunch of standard armor. Like, a lot of this stuff is, starting gear. And he also sells the Iron Parma, which is a lot of people's favorite shield. This is, it has a different name, but this is the same shield that Shiva wore in, Dark Souls 1. You can get it just right away.
Alright, so are you done talking with him then, or?
Yeah, I'm done talking to him.
My question was going to ask, should I kill him? Because his set is incredibly useful, and the only way to get it is by killing him. So, is there anything of particular interest to me to leave him alive?
What are you trying to get?
He's trying to get Molin's set, which you can only get by killing him.
What does his set give you?
If you every piece of it increases the amount of souls you receive when you kill enemies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do they stack?
Yes.
Ooh.
That's why every speedrunner uses it immediately, because it can like double the amount of souls you get. It's pretty crazy.
All the stuff he does, like, you can't get everything he sells till playthrough 2 anyway. So keeping them alive through 1 isn't really all that important, is it?
I kind of want to keep him alive at least for the first playthrough. Just, complete his quest line and stuff like that.
Well, I guess if I need an item from him, I can just take it from one of your guys' games. So yeah, I could just kill him.
Yeah, feel free, but I intend to keep as many people alive as possible for as long as possible.
Do they still have the sin system? I don't remember.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Okay, so the Iron Parma. I do have the stats to wield this. Wait, do I? The number isn't red. Isn't that my strength? No. That bulging bicep is my strength icon. Okay. Let me look at these. Physical reduction. Only 85? I wonder why people like this so much. Well, it's a light. And it's a shield. I don't have a shield right now. But it also costs almost all my souls.
I'll be right back.
I'll be good without it.
Well, I do hope I see you again.
Okay. Now, this big mansion on this side of town, I don't know if you really call it a mansion, but it's one of the largest buildings in town, so I guess you can call it a mansion. It's locked. The front door is locked. You can't get in. But you can knock this rock into the well, and up comes a corpse with an Estus flask shard on it. What?
Actually, do you want me to read the description for his armor set since you're not going to be killing him?
Let me read this real quick, and then you can, okay?
Okay, yeah.
The shard of an Estus flask. Shards are deeply soaked in Estus. Graft the shard to an Estus flask to increase flask uses. Over the ages, countless souls rested their bones as they drank from the original flask, and now this shard remains, serving as a vestige? A vestige of their hopes and dreams. Okay, your turn.
Alright. Description. It is called the Seldora robe. Robe worn by settlers of Seldora. Rather fancy, but with low defense and unfit for battle. The bright stone that brought prosperity to Seldora served only to stoke the flames of its people's desires, eventually leading to its ruin. Those bewitching, brilliantly gleaming stones are said to be fragments of a being that once roamed the entrails of the earth. Effect: increases number of souls acquired.
Wait, he's from Seldora?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. You actually get to go to Seldora in this game.
Every piece. Well, actually, wait. No, is this different? Hold on. They may have different. Yeah, there seems to be a little bit of a different thing. The Seldora cap. It's mostly the same as the Seldora flourish with the discovery of Brightstone. But with the prosperity came greed in equal measure, and the people were ever in search of that which they lacked.
Yeah, so Dora is actually a place that you can go in this game. That's kind of rare when it comes to actual locations mentioned in item descriptions. Anyway, so the next thing I want to show off are these enemies back here in the corner. They're kind of hard to make out, but they're these wee little piggies. Like, they're super tiny. Like, they don't even come up to my character's knees. But do not fuck with them. They are so unbelievably powerful, it makes no sense why they are so strong. They're basically just there to... well, what's the word I'm looking for? Is there one word for to teach one humility?
I don't know.
Yeah. Don't fuck with those pigs. I mean, you can come back and fight them later if you want. They have a chance of dropping cracked red eye orbs. So that's cool. Yeah, that's another thing about cracked red eye orbs is that, you can't buy them in this game. Well, I think you can from the Covenant leader. But there is no red eye orb. There is no complete red eye orb in this game, so you can't use it infinitely. So you have to get more cracked red eye orbs.
Also, hello Axie, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't bother having a full one. Because you sort of have to either... can you buy them from any place? I believe there's a place you can buy them.
I think you can only buy them from that Covenant's leader. Basically Dark Souls 2's version of the Dark Wraiths.
I'm back, and I almost gave myself a heart attack when I got back.
Why?
Well, I sat down and my computer monitor immediately went black, so I thought my computer had one of those graphics crashes. And I started panicking, but then I'm like, oh wait, I can still see the stream on my other screen. When I sat down, I pushed the desk against the wall, and it pulled the power cable out of my monitor.
Yeah, we heard it. Maybe next time you should mute your mic when you get up.
It was muted.
It was? Well, then what did we hear? We heard a loud noise.
That was the mic getting hit by my screen directly on its button twice quickly. I don't know, like when I was turning the monitor to get the power cable back in, like when I was turning it back, it smacked the mic in right on the mute button. And I don't know how I managed that, but I did.
Okay, well this is one tough table. I can't break it. What's this thing made of?
Best carpenter of all. Jesus.
Well, anyway. The last NPC to speak to in Majula is this kitty cat here. Look at how adorable she is. She's got those pretty blue eyes. And she has a voice to match too.
Oh, undead are we? And one without much time remaining. Just about ready to fall apart, I'd say. Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat. Well, suit yourself. Oh yes, you may call me Shalqua. Enchanté. So, what did you want anyway? Ooh, you smell wonderful.
Yep, so just like Alvina in Dark Souls 1, we have a talking cat, only this one doesn't look quite so monstrous. I guess they evolved over time to be more appealing in appearance to humans. Kind of like Argonians in Elder Scrolls.
She went from monster cat to main coat.
That's not exactly how Argonians work, but I get where you're coming from.
Well, that's the theory as to why Argonians have breasts when they don't have nipples and they lay eggs and stuff.
Argonians have breasts because of the hiss that they absorb into their bodies when they're young. The more hiss that they absorb, the more human they become. That's why there's different levels of Argonian biology. It's very similar to why the phase of the moon affects the cat-like nature of Khajiit when they're born.
Okay, if you say so. We're not talking about the Elder Scrolls right now.
If there's one thing that I know, it's Argonian fucking biology.
And Argonian fucking.
Anyway, Shalqua has the ability to show you your rank in every covenant, and also to abandon covenants, though I have never been able to determine a reason for why you would want to be a part of no covenant. I don't understand it. But anyway.
Nothing suited you, I presume? Well, that's dismaying.
Let me just talk to her again. God, all these ghosts keep getting in my face.
Oh. Who are you again? No, I'm not serious. You do have a rather pleasant scent. The type I'm quite fond of.
I just noticed Shalqua is sitting like a human. She's sitting on her butt in a chair.
Well, she's human enough. You know, a cat is fine too.
Have you seen the weird ways cats sit sometimes?
Oh, I finally got a really good close-up of her face.
Also, I think I just saw your ghost.
Yeah, but you can see it.
She looks a little too real.
Doesn't she?
It kind of looks like she's made of photographs of an actual cat.
They put a lot of work into her.
Well, no, that's the problem. They didn't put enough. So if you zoom in enough to see her fur, it's barely there. It's just a bunch of overlapping planes.
Well, yeah, but you're not supposed to see it up close.
I know, it's just... Ugh. She's always stood out a little bit, because I honestly do think the way they got around making her too detailed is by literally uploading textures of an actual cat's fur.
You know, the longer you talk, the quieter you get, because you're losing your breath?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, anyway. She has things to sell. She sells you homeward bones, prism stones. The number above the price is how many she'll sell. She can only sell you a maximum of 10 homeward bones, and then that's it. But as you progress in the game, her inventory will change, and eventually she'll sell them infinitely. She also sells Lloyd's Talismans, which they're still called Lloyd's Talismans in this game, which means they still remember who Allfather Lloyd is. But by Dark Souls 3, they've forgotten Lloyd, and they call them, I think they call them Undead Hunter Charms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what their use is. It's just, you know.
Lloyd's
they
Talisman.
lost all that religion.
Talisman used by Cleric Knights. Blocks Estus recovery within a limited area. Again, wrong. That is not what it does. You throw it at somebody, and you hit them, and it prevents them from using Estus. It is said that the Cleric Knights use these talismans to hunt down accursed undead. Cleric Knights fight with pride, and by blocking the recovery of the undead, they can also fight with impunity. You know, the Saiyans would have something to say about that. The Saiyans would want their opponent to be able to use all of their abilities. Just that it's that much more satisfying when they're crushed. Right?
It depends. If you look in like some of the history manga that were produced after like Dragon Ball Super came out, like Raditz's backstory, he sure as hell wasn't like that. He cheated his way to the top like so many times.
Yep.
Well, you could just say that he didn't have enough Saiyan pride.
That could be it, yeah.
Raditz was like completely incompetent. Legitimately an incompetent, useless Saiyan.
But I do want to say though, the actual origin story manga for Raditz is really, really good, and I highly suggest you read it. It is really good.
I'll get to it. I'm working on Dragon Ball stuff right now.
Yeah.
After this, you should watch Steven Universe.
Maybe. Alluring Skull. A skull of unknown ownership. Smashing it releases traces of souls which attract nearby foes. Does not work on all enemies, but can prove useful in unexpected ways. Prism Stone. Prism Stone does nothing special, but if you feel you may lose your way, it can serve as a path marker. Same thing as before. Yeah. Homeward Bone, a white ashen bone. Bonfires burn on the bones of undead, and this bone, belonging to one whose journey was cut short, has the power to travel to bonfires, as if it yearns to resume its futile quest. Wait, is that how they work?
What?
We're never exactly shown how the Homeward Bone is used, lore-wise. It's the bone of a former undead. So I think what you do is you're snapping it in half, and that makes it think that it's been killed, so it teleports you and the bone itself back to the bonfire.
Perhaps. I'm not sure.
I never questioned how they did it, because it's like, oh, Homeward Bones just do that, okay. Yeah, shit, that might be right. That's why you can only use them once, because it's impossible to break it a second time.
Also, I find it kind of funny that Axie in my chat's just like, wow, this game reminds me of Bloodborne in art style. Apparently she doesn't know about the connection with the series. Because Bloodborne is technically part of the same series, so yeah. That's probably why it looks similar.
I mean, the entire series of Souls game is known as the Soulsborne series.
Even though there's only one Bloodborne so far.
Right.
Which there's actually some leaks suggesting they're making a second one finally.
Nice.
Okay, and the main point to visit Xiaoqua is that she has all of these awesome rings. Starting with the Ring of the Evil Eye. A modest but inexplicably disturbing ring. Absorb HP for each enemy defeated. Peer too closely at the rare stone that forms the eye of this ring, and things that writhe and stir may come into focus.
That's disturbing.
Yeah. So what is this stone from? Why can it absorb health? I don't know. Silver Cat Ring. Silver ring depicting a leaping feline. Reduces damage from falling. Legend has it that when cats grow old, a force brews within them, and they are reborn as something new. So all of the talking cats are reincarnations of regular cats who died of old age?
Maybe. But also, the evil eye. Note specifically says that things within it writhe. I think the only other thing we're told that writhes in the series canonically is humanity inside of Firekeepers. So maybe it's a ring powered by humanity.
Maybe. Anyway, the Silver Cat Ring is really cool, but goddamn, look how much it costs. 13,400 souls. We're gonna need it eventually.
Yeah.
Red Eye Ring. A cursed ring depicting a demon eye becomes easier to be detected by enemies. If it is tranquility that you seek, then you should never have left your home. If you seek strife, then fair enough, but no need to overdo it. So the Red Eye Ring makes it easier for enemies to detect you, which could be useful, I suppose, if you want to lure them out from around a corner to make them easier to kill.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to have a way of doing like an aggressive mod without a mod. Name engraved ring. This is the first thing I'm going to have to buy as soon as I can. A special ring that can be engraved with the name of a god. Becomes easier to connect to worlds of players who chose the same god. So this ring is a precursor to the password system, which wasn't invented until the next game. So we're gonna have to equip these rings in order to connect to one another if we're gonna play this game together.
I just got mine, so.
There are
once we get the Bloodborne, it don't matter anymore.
Yeah. There are countless vestiges of long-lost gods in the ruins of Drang Lake, or perhaps they are the very same gods as ours, only known by different names. And the Ring of Whispers, ring worn by Roy the Explorer. Hear the inner voices of surrounding foes. Useful for locating hidden enemies and perhaps a few other things as well. Now, that's not very clear. The Ring of Whispers has two functions. One, it serves the same function that the Old Witch's Ring did in the previous game. It lets you understand one NPC in the game. But it has another function. This game has a built-in player chat function, where people can talk to each other using microphones, of course. We're using Discord, so we don't need to use it. But the Ring of Whispers lets you eavesdrop on other people's conversations, and they get louder the closer they are to you.
Invaders can use it to track the hosts.
Yeah, if they're using chat. Which I imagine
That-
most people don't.
Yeah, that is a clever use of it. I'll give him that.
Nothing suit well.
Okay, let me use all of my soul items and try and get this,
Now, I don't mean to be a hassle or anything, but are you almost finished up in Majula?
almost. I just have to buy the name engraved ring.
Yeah, because so far, you've done, like, pointedly one thing. You beat the tutorial area, and it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Kaze, we went through this at the beginning of Dark Souls 1. You know it's gonna go faster as time goes on.
I know, it's just... keeping things going keeps viewers.
Because I literally have nothing left I can do.
I am 90 souls short of being able to buy this ring.
Nothing suit well.
Time to murder something. The pigs.
Can I kill the pigs?
Should be able to.
Alright, I'll give it a shot. Give me a piggy. Here comes one. Oh god, they're all coming.
Everyone in chat now is like, why is he afraid? What's
Pigs
gonna
are
happen?
mean. Pigs are mean. But what area are we tackling first anyway?
The forest.
Okay.
Quick question though, after you kill these things. Go ahead and let me know what your soul memory is.
I mean, mine's at 16,000. What's yours at?
97,000?
90? Okay, you're way above us then.
How the hell did you get that high?
It's super easy if you just go and fight bosses.
Like, not even bosses. I was doing some item farming.
Yeah, you might not be able to join us immediately then. How do you get that one ring that absorbs the souls from things you kill?
I think you have to buy it from an NPC later on.
Yeah. You don't have to get high though. Like I'm looking at the range calculator. The soonest I'll be able to join you is once you reach 20,000, which is pretty quick.
Okay.
I was already almost there.
I managed to kill the pigs. They actually weren't that bad.
They give you enough souls?
Yeah, they barely give you any... Wait, no. No, I didn't. They give like 20 souls each.
Oh, that's... So you need 2 more pig kills. Or go back into things betwixt and murder some things.
Yeah, let me just go back and kill some hollows.
Because fuck the pigs. Fuck the pigs. Sorry.
Well, the problem is going to be having PJ be at the correct number, because if he has to get to 20,000, I mean, he's not going to be able to do that.
No, he can. It's just he probably won't be able to summon me until the second bonfire.
Right.
So you guys can do some shit.
Now, how many souls do these hollows give anyway?
And actually, in fact, he's not. Unless you've already. Have you already gotten the sign, Tyler?
Sign?
To actually let him summon you? Soapstone?
How do you get the soapstone?
It's in the forest. You forgot how to get
Where?
the soapstone?
I don't.
You talked to what's his name by the portcullis.
Oh, I did talk to him. He didn't give it to me.
You had to talk to him after the portcullis closes.
Wait. Hold on. I'll go back and check.
Anyway.
You have to go through the trap.
Anyway, gotta talk to her real quick.
Bye.
Because she'll point out
Is that a shard you found? Here, let me see it, so that I may help you. To see light, to see hope, however faint it might be.
Yep, and she'll let you know if you have an Estus Flask shard on you in case you forget. So now I have an Estus Flask +1. Just, well, 2 Estus Flasks. Wait, do you start with... No. It's the Estus Flask shards that boost the number of uses.
Yeah.
It's Sublime Bone Dust that increases its strength. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so now I have exactly 5,500 souls. So it should be equal to my soul memory then. Yep, it is. That is the exact number of souls I have obtained with this character so far, total. Also, you can open doors quickly just by rolling through them. Keep
That's
that.
neat little addition. Mm-hmm.
He did the time.
Buy item. Name engraved ring. There we go.
Satisfied? I'll be...
That will make things easier in the long run.
In the long run, yes. Okay. So now there is nothing left to do but to move forward. So from here, there are 4 different directions that you can go. Some of them aren't available to us right away. If we go back up that way, there's another path off to the side I didn't take that will eventually be blocked off by another petrified enemy. We'll need the items that can unpetrify them to go that way. There's also this hole. This hole will eventually need to be traversed by us, but this first drop alone is easily enough to kill you. So you're going to need a ladder, or the Silver Cat Ring, or a shit ton of health in order to, survive those falls. It's the only way to get down there. Because we're not getting down there now.
My preferred method is by grappling hook.
You can't do that.
That's the jump.
Anyway, the other 2 paths are that way, through that stone archway over there, which we'll handle later. And coming down this way, toward where we found the binoculars. Through here. I think this chest has rusted coins in it. Could be wrong. Oh, yeah, 1 rusted coin.
I should use that when I'm farming stuff from the Haid Knights. Because boy, are they assholes with their drop rate.
This door opens super slowly, but you have to wait until it's completely open before you can get through it. There we go.
And the entire point of it is to allow the game time to load the next area. Because they got a little overzealous with their designs for Dark Souls 2. Turns out, at the time, the 360 and PS3 couldn't handle what they wanted. Who'd have thought?
Got a human effigy. Careful walking up these planks. Now, it is possible to jump over there to that item, but I frequently die attempting to do so, so I just go the long way around. Welcome to the Forest of Fallen Giants. And there's another ogre over there. He has quite a bit more health than the one in Things Betwixt. He was added in the Scholar of the First Sin version of this game, this area. He wasn't here before. I don't know why they put him here.
He's also probably the earliest enemy you can farm off stones on.
Oh, they drop off stones? Okay, well I guess that's one thing.
It's super low chance though, so that you can farm off stones on them when you're in the Covenant. So you technically can get all the rewards from that Covenant without beating a single boss.
Technically, I guess. Fatty ahead.
Way to be a jerk, game.
Homeward Bone and Soul of a Lost Undead. Okay, yeah, but as long as you stay out of the river and just kind of stick to the land part, the ogre won't really notice you. Hopefully. Just be careful. Yep, there's another bonfire right over here. And be careful, because there's an archer over there with really good eyesight. And it will spot you as soon as you come within view. And bonfire. That was easy. And this is the earliest point in the area, pretty much, where you can start summoning people. I am human, so I should be able to see signs, but until either Kaze or Tyler get the soapstone and come back here, I won't be able to summon them.
Yeah.
What?
For him. To do Kaze, you need at least 20,000 soul memory.
Oh, because he just got that far ahead.
Yeah.
Which, again, you'll probably have that in like the next 20 minutes.
You're probably fine to go ahead on your own a little bit. I'm trying to get the soapstone as we speak.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not hard to get to the next bonfire.
Now I warned you about going too far ahead many weeks ago, Kaze.
I didn't realize I had gotten that high because all I was doing was farming off the Hate Knights.
And the Hate Knights are worth a lot of souls.
Apparently.
I'm surprised you didn't expect that, considering how tough they are.
With magic, they're not. So... yeah, again, this game continues the tradition of, if you have ranged attacks, they're pathetic. For basically every enemy.
Yeah, backstabs are a little more, they have a little more flair now in this game.
Right, yeah, they are a little more elaborate.
I don't have a shield. I can't parry.
Just that two-handed overhand smash to the back of the head. That is brutal.
Come on down. Come on. Hurry up.
Also, I had completely forgotten that they moved the Ring of Bindings location in Scholar of the First Sin. It is so much easier to get it now.
They moved a lot of things to make them easier to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember earlier when I was talking about weapon ascension? In the original Dark Souls 2, the one item, because there's only one ember now, unlike multiple embers in the previous game. But that one ember required you to defeat multiple bosses to get like almost to one of the main bosses that you had to beat for the story. It's a pretty long way, and even if you get there, you have to make a perilous jump in order to reach it. Now, you just have to beat 2 bosses.
Much more fair.
Yes. Try eliminating one at a time. Now, this area is pretty difficult. There's a whole bunch of hollows around. Some of them are corpses, some of them are just pretending to be corpses. And you want to sneak up on each one at a time so you don't get ambushed, overwhelmed.
Most of them are faking it.
Yeah.
This is like... I don't know if they had an idea early on to make more areas where you can just get like jumped by a horde and this is like a prototype of it or something. That's what it kind of feels like.
Well, the thing about this area is that in the original Dark Souls 2, it wasn't like this at all. This area was completely empty except for one powerful enemy who wouldn't aggro unless you attacked him first.
I don't think that's actually true.
No, that's true. There used to be a Hate Knight here.
I know there used to be one, but I think it also had all the corpse enemies anyway.
It didn't have this many, if it had any. Oh, there's a guy up above throwing fire bombs. Yeah, since you only have at most 2 Estus flasks at this point in the game, if you come here right away, you need to be super careful. You don't get 5 or 10 like you did in the previous game.
Right.
God damn it. Green Blossom. Believe that does the same thing it did in 1. Boost stamina regeneration. Okay, this ladder, super annoying. As soon as you start climbing it, another hollow is gonna start climbing down. And then you have to get off and wait for him to come see you. And then you kill him. Oh, come on. It's a drop. Pick it up. Hollow infantry armor.
I just went and looked at a video of the original Dark Souls 2, and there were a couple less random hollows. So they basically took the Haid Knight out and dropped in some hollows.
Were there really still that many?
There was at least 12, if you count the ones up top.
Short sword. Okay, and then you can just drop down to here. And then to the bottom. Shortcut down. Now we could go through that fog wall, but there's another item that we can get over here. By the ladder. Over there. Right down there is where the one hollow leaped down from above. We can jump over to that. It doesn't always work.
It's a pretty hard jump.
Oh, I failed. I'm dead.
No!
Yeah. And now you can see what happens when you die. Apart from, of course, turning hollow, you don't turn completely hollow. You'll notice my health bar only lowered a small amount. It lowered by, what is that? 5-10%?
That's a small percentage, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's 10%. No, I know. I'm pretty sure it's 5% actually. Yeah. Your max health lowers by 5% every time you die, and there's 10 levels of hollowing. So if you hollow all the way, then your health gets cut in half. Of course, one human effigy will return you to human form completely. So you don't have to worry about that. No, this is an awful place to die.
That would have sucked if you had to use multiple effigies to restore levels of undeadness.
They would have to make them way more common.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked it up since you're probably not going to try to jump again. It's nothing important.
I know, but I want to get it.
Okay.
Also, I'm coming back. I got the summon stone, so.
God damn it. Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
I got caught in the stun lock.
It happens. Also, I'm kind of embarrassed about this, but about an hour of the stream tonight was me just literally dying repeatedly to a boss, and it really sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
The first one?
Yeah. Well, one of the first ones.
The first one the game expects you to fight?
No.
Oh.
No, the second one. Well, not the second one, but...
The one that can just sort of come at you?
Yeah, right.
That asshole.
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
Which, I'll have interesting lore about that when we get to it, because I know more about Dark Souls 2 with its lore than Peter does.
So where...
There, made it.
Yeah. Where can I put my... Where should I put my sign down at?
I'm not human. It's not gonna do you any good now.
You should have human effigies. I have 4 of them. You should have at least 1.
Yeah, I do. Should I
Yeah.
use one?
I'd wait until you get to the second bonfire, because that's when co-op really starts to help.
Okay, I can hold off till then.
Yeah, just get yourself up to the second bonfire. I'm just gonna head there too. Why not? Because maybe he'll get up to 20,000 soon.
Okay, there's another reason I wanted that item. And that's because it actually does help a little bit with this first part of the game. The throwing knives.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, every player character is trained in how to throw knives. Despite it being kind of fucking ridiculously difficult to in real life.
Okay. The rest of those enemies shouldn't bother me now. Okay, you come in here and there's a fork. You can walk up here and you can drop into this little room. Or you can just make this one hollow notice your presence. Oh, jeez, what's making those noises?
What noises?
Those snarling noises.
It's the hollows.
Is it? God damn. Yeah, come on, notice me.
Senpai.
Oh, he's not noticing me. But be careful with this turn. There's a guy right there. He will leap at you. There.
Yeah, I just listened to it. I think that is just like the breathing of the hollows. They kind of snarl. They're freaky, yo.
Freaky deaky, yo.
Throwing knife. Okay, now we can come in here. And there's this hollow on the ground. You can just put him back on the ground.
You don't look particularly green while hollowed.
It has slightly. It's a bit due to your skin tone as well.
Yeah.
Determining how green you are.
Yeah, I think there's a skin color you can make in Dark Souls 1 that makes you purple when you're hollowed.
Yeah, there is. There's also one that makes you red.
That's the... Oh, so you mean Raspberry Boy. Oh.
Yep.
God, I just realized we're getting to see whatever the fuck you made soon. I just remembered you made something fucked up and haven't told us what it is yet. Oh,
I've been keeping a hood on my stream too, just so no one can see it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you sly bastard.
Yep.
But it must be visible in the beginning of your stream.
You
in the
can't
beginning,
do
yes.
that until after the stream, though.
Right. You can't do that like on YouTube. Yeah.
You can't scan through videos on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Try tongue, butthole.
Welcome to Classy Souls.
Yep.
Classy Souls.
Horse butthole.
Or just Ancient Dragon.
You know, I'm gonna have to go watch Happy Souls again.
Yeah, I watched it recently myself. If you haven't seen Happy Souls, it's a fantastic, about 20-minute animation about Dark Souls 2 and how amazing it is.
There is one moment in particular that will crack you the fuck up.
The laggy invader.
Yep. The
Yeah.
laggy invader. Oh, I love him.
Is that the one where the guys are just trying to co-op, or is that a different Souls?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I should watch it, 'cause God, those were good.
Hi, Pokemaster. Okay, now I just gotta deal with this archer. Man,
Okay,
you know, the archers are really smart in Dark Souls 2. They start pulling their melee weapon out way sooner than the ones in Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1, you gotta be right up in their face.
They also focus you on ladders a lot better, too.
They also what?
They also focus you on ladders a lot more.
Focus you on ladders?
On ladders, yeah. Like, to knock you down from the ladder, because if you get hit enough times, you stagger and fall off the ladder.
I know that's what you meant, but that's not what you said means.
Okay.
In fact, what you said, like, it was kind of like not meaningless, but doesn't contain meaning. I'ma focus you on ladder. They try to. Jesus Christ, that guy wants your ass, don't he? They try to knock you off at ladders way more than archers used to.
Right.
Okay, I made it. Yeah, this is a very popular bonfire right here.
How's that soul memory looking, bud?
Let's take a look. 7,960.
Falls.
I told you.
You can just go kill the giant in the start of the area. He drops like 1,500 at a time.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it might just be because I'm wearing what's his face's set. In fact, no. Go test that. Go kill the fat guy at the start of the fours. Tell me how much he normally drops. Because I get 1,500 every time I kill him.
Okay, well, give me a minute.
Yeah.
I picked up a new item. Let's see. The Witching Urn. A small clay urn wreathed in magic. Explodes, inflicting magic damage. So it's a magic elemental firebomb. Created in Melphia, a land that flourishes with magic and pyromancy. Though the magic contained in the urn lacks potency, it is a boon to any inexperienced traveler. I have never thrown one of those in my life.
I've never thought to. Wonder if they're any use, actually.
They're pretty good. The only problem with them is, like, if you need to hit something that would be ignited, like, for example, exploding barrels, witching urns do not explode them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you come up here, and there's this door that says it's locked. Now, this is a cheap trick, because this door has no key, and you cannot reach the other side of it through any means other than going through this door. So what you had to do is break it down. And we're in. And there's a crystal lizard in here.
Does the game keep track anywhere how many times you died total?
I don't think so. 2 Titanite shards. A hand axe and a radiant life gem, which is a stronger life gem. Man, it's dark in here. Hollow soldier helm. There is... Wait, that key? That key works on that door? Well, you don't need it. You can still break it down.
What key works?
The soldier's key, the one that you used to open the other doors in this place.
Oh. Yeah, but you don't need it, yeah. That's...
Oh. Yeah, I almost accidentally did that. Oh my god. There's another mechanic in Dark Souls 2 which is really stupid. I do not like this mechanic. You can break chests before you open them, and if you do, the item inside turns into rubbish.
Yeah, that... yeah.
And you can do that accidentally, and enemies can do it too. And it's such bullshit. So, protect the treasure chests. Small leather shield and repair powder. Hey. And then we come out here. And there's an enemy pretending to be dead on the ground. You can't lock onto them when they're pretending to be dead for some reason, even though they're animated, so it's obvious that they're alive. But if you angle the camera down just right and use the right weapon, you can still hit them. Like so. And now we get a very special item. One of my favorite additions to Dark Souls 2. The small white sign soapstone.
It is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so the difference between the Whitestein soapstone and the small Whitestein soapstone. Or what were you gonna say?
Nothing. Continue.
Oh, okay. With the Whitestein soapstone, it functions exactly like it did in Dark Souls 1. You lay it down, and somebody can summon you until the boss is beaten. And then you get... Well, in Dark Souls 1, you got 1 humanity. In this game, it just automatically restores your humanity. You also get a token of fidelity, so there's that too. It's a shame that you can't actually get human effigy items from that. That probably would have been better. Yeah, but the small Whitestein soapstone is like a temporary summon. You show up and you're on a time limit, which goes down every time an enemy is killed. And when the timer runs out, your duty is fulfilled automatically. And while it won't completely restore your humanity, it will take you back up 1 hollowing level. So if you've only died once like I have, the small Whitestein soapstone will let you get your humanity back after just spending a few minutes with the host. You don't even have to kill the boss. And you can use these even after the boss is killed. So it's a way to summon other people in areas where the boss is dead. In case there are, still mini-bosses and stuff you want help fighting. Now, the worst part, though, is that there are so many noobish, stupid players who use those signs to summon, I think they're called Grey Phantoms. No, they're called Shades, that's it. Yeah, when you get summoned with a small sign, you call it a Shade. They'll summon a Shade, and then obviously a fog wall is going to appear that separates the co-op area from the boss. Even if the boss is already beaten, that fog wall will still let them walk through it. And when they do, it automatically dismisses all of your shades.
Right.
So they don't realize that they've already killed the boss, and that summoning more people don't just make it come back.
I'm an idiot.
What?
I was calculating the co-op wrong. I was calculating my summon range, not yours. You can summon me.
Okay, well, just give me a minute. But that rarely happens, though. That scenario rarely happens. What happens a lot more often is they'll summon you for help with one thing, like an NPC invader or a really powerful regular enemy. And then they'll use the black separation crystal on you before your time limit runs out. And you won't get any rewards.
Which is annoying.
Yes, very annoying. And that's not to say that the small Whitestein soapstone is only used to reverse hollowing little by little. For fulfilling your duty, you also get a small, smooth and silky stone. Or actually, I think it's a regular smooth and silky stone. Yeah, but that's the best way to farm them, in order to get extra items from the crows. So that's cool.
And it has a use that it doesn't actually tell you. It has a higher summon range than the normal soapstone.
That too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But the game doesn't really tell you anything about summoning ranges anyway.
Nah. Not a goddamn bit.
So I can level up a couple times now. I should probably raise my dex a couple times, try and get a better weapon. So I can use it with a shield. I'm kinda dumb. I was worried about running out of Estus flasks for nothing. I have heal miracles. I'm not used to that. I typically don't do miracle builds.
You are dumb. We love you.
Oh yeah, this is another really cool feature. You first.
As dumb as me, where I literally have yet to level up.
Oh, God.
Anyway, When it shows you the map of all the different places you can teleport to, areas with high online activity in your soul memory range are highlighted in orange. So you know where the best places to go for PvP and co-op are.
What's the little Estus flask symbol mean?
Little Estus flask symbol?
Yeah, it's underneath my stats bar.
Estus flask symbol.
Yeah.
What rings do you have on?
It might be a ring. Name engraved in stone.
Take off the name engraved.
It's a symbol of the god. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
did we decide which one we're gonna use?
I haven't seen the list of gods. Let me take a look. Let me put that ring on now.
I mean, we only have to put it on when we're doing the summoning, but...
Let's see. There's Nema, goddess of love, whose icon is a Estus flask. So that must be the one Tyler is using. Galib, god of disease, who uses the cursed icon.
That sounds like that one character from that one Christian cartoon. The Gab-Galab or whatever. Continue.
Oh. I think it's Globgo Gab-Galab?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Kytha, goddess of tears, which is a poison icon. Kreml, god of struggle, which I'm not sure what that icon is. Evlana, goddess of the hunt. Hanleth, goddess of bliss, who uses the Souls Up icon. At least I think that's Souls Up. No, I think that's something else, I forget. Nor Alma, god of blood, who is the only god on this list mentioned by somebody else. Zinder, god of desire. Quella, god of dream. And Caffrey, goddess of fortune, who just uses the soul icon that you can see in the bottom right corner.
Yep.
So, naturally, the ones that I'm leaning toward are Hanleth and Nema.
Okay, we can do Nema. I
Alright.
like the Estus flask symbol anyway.
Might as well
and
use the first one on the list anyway. It's
And
easier.
the Souls Up symbol, by the way, is just the soul symbol with an up arrow next to it.
Okay, so what's this one next to Hanleth then? The white arrow.
I don't know.
I'm looking at them right now, trying to figure it out.
Did I ever read this? Ring of the Way of Blue Covenant increases HP slightly. The Way of Blue is not a developed religion. It is a humble prayer that spread naturally amongst those seeking help. When apostles of blue are invaded by dark spirits, they can receive assistance from masters of other worlds. Yeah, so as long as you have this ring on and are a member of the Covenant, then blue sentinels will show up to aid you while you're being invaded. Okay, and I suppose I should... Wait, that icon appears a bit lower than usual. Let me see if it shows up in the stream.
I just moved my camera over to the top right instead of the top left.
Yeah, it's a little bit covered. Let me move my face cam down a little. That should do. There we go. Okay. So, should I turn human, or should I put the small sign soapstone down and see if I get summoned and turn human again that way?
I don't really see a reason to not just turn human and summon us.
Are there easy ways to get more human effigies?
Let me check.
Because I don't really know how to farm them.
We're not really going to be dying that much anyway. I mean, you know, you do have 2 rangers basically on your side, so...
Let's see, 5 are sold by the merchant hag.
Well, I'm mostly just interested in renewable sources of effigies.
The old ironclad soldiers drop them.
Okay, and those are here.
Yep. Or the old knights in the Hyde's Tower.
Oh, those two?
Yep.
Oh. I could totally do that between sessions.
Oh, the skeletons in the Majula Mansion.
Oh, but they only spawn once per bonfire intensity.
But they might respawn with the,
Covenant? Oh.
Yeah.
The
I can
Company
test
of
that real quick if you want, because I have that area open.
Okay, feel free.
Yeah, I'll go test it real quick before we actually start trying to, like, progress.
I'll just put my sign down, so...
Wait, you know I can't see your sign when I'm hollowed.
Yeah, there's no reason you shouldn't just turn human. You have multiple sources of renewable effigies right there, you know?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta go join the Covenant. I'm gonna reload.
Bucky Master, what do you mean none of those enemies have spawned for you? They're regular enemies in the beginning of the game. Do you mean they haven't dropped them for you?
Is he?
Because there is a way to increase your item discovery pretty quick in the beginning of the game. Like, this lady right here sells a hat that boosts it, and you can use rusted coins, but they're not really all that renewable this early in the game. But the hat is the best method this early in the game.
Yeah, it helps.
I should probably talk to her right now real quick. So give me a second.
Buy something. Anything. Oh, come now, help an old woman and buy something.
That's weird. Does she have black auras on her hands?
She does.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
I've never noticed those.
What the fuck is that shit?
Her hands aren't even human, like, looking at all either. Sort of tapered. Interesting. Is she even human?
She doesn't have green skin.
She's a bit freaky now.
Wow, jeez. Well, anyway, Merchant Hag Malentia is your main item merchant. She sells the club if you want to use that, Cestus if you want to use those. I did a double Cestus build in this game once. It was one of my best PvP builds ever. I love using the Cesti. She sells the Traveling Merchant set, which none of these have any special effects. The Gold Serpent Ring, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that for a while. The Traveling Merchant tab boosts item discovery. I'm going to want to buy that as soon as I possibly can. Let's see, she also sells a few special items. She sells Leningrast's Key. So, I guess she was the one who locked that building?
I guess so.
She just happened upon the key and was like, okay, this is probably important. Buy it, bitch.
Key of Blacksmith Lenegrast of Majula. Majula, the land of exiles, is comprised of abandoned old houses, one of which Lenegrast has fashioned into a workshop. I don't know, maybe it used to be her house and she, I don't know, picked up shop and moved from there and decided to lock it later?
Maybe.
Anyway, she sells 5 human effigies, only the 5, 10 life gems, 3 amber herbs, fire bombs, which I want a few of those.
Was that key actually moved into her inventory for this version of the game?
No, I think she's always had it.
Okay.
Throwing knives. Infinite source of throwing knives. Bright bugs, which is another item I've never used. They cost 6,000 souls apiece. A tiny bug that produces light. Bright bugs are said to comfort the dead and are found in the marshlands leading to the Undead Crypt, which is an area in this game. By ingesting a bright bug just before death, the moment at which they glow most brightly, one attains great power for a short time. Often utilized as a last resort for adventurers who have lost their way. Has no effect in other worlds or for phantoms. Huh. I don't really know how useful that could be. Anyway, this is a Pharos' Luckstone. They're keys to special contraptions all throughout the game. Now, there are finite contraptions, but technically you can get infinite lockstones. And when you go into New Game Plus, all of those contraptions reset. So you can get one right away, and you'll want to, because it'll open the way to a very special ring in this very area. So it's worth it to do some soul farming in order to get all this stuff.
So bad news.
Yes?
If you've already killed that skeleton at least, it won't respawn. I don't know if it will continue to spawn if you're part of the Covenant when you kill it the first time or not.
I don't know. Let's see. Pharaoh's Luckstone. Stone activating a creation of Pharaohs the Vagabond. Did I say it right this time? Vagabond?
Yes.
Okay. Pharaohs the Vagabond was a legend who wandered the lands, creating contraptions to help those in sincere and dire need. The scope of his travels was so wide that Pharaohs has been mistakenly credited with many inventions that were crafted by others. Thomas Edison. A fragrant branch of yore. These are the items that restore living things from petrification. We'll need to use this on that statue back in Things Betwixt once we have some spares. A fragrant tree branch with a faint sweet smell restores the life of things turned to stone. Extended inhalation of the branch's scent can lead to coughing and nausea. Wow, how informative. And she also sells 1 heal miracle and 1 soul arrow sorcery. So if you didn't start as a sorcerer or a cleric and you want to focus on sorceries or miracles, this is the first girl that you should be rushing toward, just to get the basics. And you can get a chime pretty early, and there's a sorcerer's staff that you can pick up in this area for free, although it's hidden. But yeah, you can get that stuff pretty early if you don't start with it.
Lively times these are.
She also has an extra special item that she gives you if you spend a total of 10,000 souls in her shop. So I'm definitely going to need to buy all of the expensive stuff that she has. Oh yeah, and you can get more of the same spells, copies of them. Like extra soul arrows and whatnot. That is an old looking character that just popped up in my stream. You should see him in a second if you're watching.
Okay.
He did this cool effect with his eyes. I think he used some tattoos to make it look like he had huge eyebrows. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, really? Oh. Okay, well, anyway.
Yeah, nothing popped up.
You didn't see a phantom?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Oh, was it on the right side of the screen?
Yeah.
It's under your chat.
Oh, whoops. Oh well. Anyway, it's after 11:30. We should probably be wrapping up the stream pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing a lot of soul farming tomorrow, probably.
Don't get I mean, I'm at 20,000. I'm not going to have time to do any grinding, so try and stay at a reasonable level for me, please.
If you're above 20,000, we can stay all the way up to 110,000 before we hit a tier that we can't summon you in.
Okay. But before you go, give me a summon just so I can show you what I look like.
Let's at least open that first little shortcut since it's so close.
Actually, I wanted to show off the other area that you can go to at the beginning of the game real quick. Just so that, it's there and I can, farm for human effigies here tomorrow. And souls. So I'll just be a minute. Crimson Parma. Right, gotta wait for this gate to open. So let's read this shield. The fancy name and nifty paint are surely a merchant's efforts to make this very ordinary shield more attractive. Okay, bye Pokemaster. a Soul of a Lost Undead, and a Broken Thief Sword, which is a dagger. And you come up these stairs. And welcome to Kaze's Tower of Flame, and holy crap, there's a guy just sitting right next to me. He's got arrows sticking out of his helmet. Okay. And so this is a Haid Knight. In the original Dark Souls 2, Haid Knights were scattered all across Drang Lake, and they wouldn't attack you unless you attacked them first. Now they're mostly congested to this area, and they still won't attack you unless you attack them first, at least until you kill one of this area's 2 bosses. And this area does have 2 bosses. So until they're both killed, you can still play with other people normally. And then there's these guys, who aren't tough to fight. Spent so long fighting just these guys over and over. And I have a nice bludgeoning weapon, so I can kill them pretty quickly. Now, you say these guys drop human effigies, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to farm them quite a bit. Have to join the Covenant of Champions in order to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, but I won't be picking up any items here between sessions, so you don't have to worry about missing anything. Hopefully I won't accidentally despawn the enemies while in the company. Anyway. So let's go back to the Cardinal Tower, and I'll turn human so that we can see what you two look like.
Wait, so where am I going?
The Cardinal Tower.
Okay.
And there we go. Humanity restored. Look at my pretty face. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 definitely has the best looking character models in the series, in my opinion.
I don't mind 3s.
3 is definitely better.
Now
You can do a lot more with it.
well, that's your opinion, man.
Well, that's just your, like, opinion, man.
It's not really an opinion, it's factual.
You're saying that something looks better aesthetically is a fact?
No, that you can make them look better aesthetically, because there's more customization options, and they're using essentially the same character model, but upgraded to the higher resolution.
Higher resolution doesn't automatically equal better looking, by the way. It's one of the reasons why, like, sprite-based games look better on older televisions than newer ones.
Frosty.
No, not display resolution, actual resolution of the models. They have more polygons.
He means, yeah. Well, poly count is different from texture resolution, but I know what you mean, Kaze.
Yeah.
Still, I just don't like the way that Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 look, because all the characters' faces are like they're made of wet clay. Hey, Creed.
I don't really see it, but okay.
They look too shiny and plasticky. At least that's the impression I got. Final Fantasy XIV gave me the same impression. I don't know, maybe it's just my computer.
Maybe. It might just be a setting that's off somewhere, who knows.
I mean, no, I played Dark Souls 3 on console, and Bloodborne.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, so, Frosty Cheerio, is this you, Tyler?
Yes. I am Frosty Cheerio. Isn't that a wonderful name?
Where's your sign, Kaze?
Well, I just got summoned and I thought it was you. Apparently not. Which is weird because I had the ring on.
You have the ring on.
And I got summoned.
We're playing PC. We're playing Scholar of the First Sin.
It's going to be a little less impressive, but you can kind of see how I look.
It's kind of hard to tell with the white glow, but you appear to be completely white anyway, with a blue face and a huge nose. Yes. I can't quite make you out. It might be better if you summoned me.
Right, that actually would be better. I'm going to go do that then. So I'll just kill myself. Yeah, it's going to look a lot better on my end than in your world.
Hey, Creed, you kind of came at a bad time. We're pretty much just looking at each other's avatars, and then the stream is going to be ending.
Yeah, mine might have to wait till tomorrow since I got summoned.
You could always pretend to accidentally get killed.
Or I could just jump off a cliff. I mean, what's it gonna matter?
Okay, so you can put your sign down. I'll grab you.
Oh, actually, I have an idea. I have a good idea. I know of a way to die very quickly.
That's another thing. That's another thing that pisses me off about new players in this game.
Yeah?
Is that when they put their sign down, and I summon them, and they immediately dismiss themselves with the Black Separation Crystal. I'm like, you dumbass, learn to use the name engraved ring.
You may not even know it exists.
In the ring, I still got summoned by other people. Do we want to switch symbols since we know someone else is using that same one?
I suppose.
Okay, fine. What, Cinder or something?
What do I think is the Dex weapon? Well, I know many Dex weapons. Daggers, scythes, rapiers.
Are you gonna be putting your sign down?
Okay, which deity are we using?
Just tell me, which one?
Hanleth.
Okay.
As for what
signs down again.
As for what I think the best Dex weapon is? Oh, Creed just followed.
Yay!
Thanks, Creed. Thank you for following me even after I made fun of your question.
What is the Dex weapon?
So yes, best Dex weapon. Okay, so my small sign's down. Anyway,
wait a second.
Best Dex weapon? What?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I've seen a few videos from people who are probably way more versed in soulsiness than me, who claim that the Great Scythe is the best Dex weapon. Probably, that was either in Dark Souls 1 or 2, one of the two. But you probably can't go wrong with the Great Scythe, as long as you can get used to its moveset. So, this is the true form of Frosty Cheerio, eh?
Yes, it is. He is so sad. Look at how sad he is.
Are you able to see my sign yet?
I just saw another phantom who looked just like you, but with a magenta bowl cut.
Wait, no, I don't see your sign, Kaze.
That's weird.
Put down a small sign.
I did.
Oh.
Like even a normal one can summon up to 110,000 with the ring.
And you're using Hanleth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There you are.
Thank God.
I don't know. I'm kind of happy with this design.
Yeah, but here's another feature of Dark Souls 2. Whenever your allies are off screen, you can still see their names and health bars on the left. Why can't you donate? I don't know. It's because I'm not an affiliate?
Yeah, it's because he's not. Well, no. I mean, you can't donate. If the best way, if you want to donate, is going to be doing it through his Patreon. Actually,
yes, I have a Patreon link in the bottom left corner of the screen. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can. You can do so for as low as $1 a month, and it will give you access to all the patron-only polls, such as what game I'll be playing for my 200 sub special. 200 YouTube subs, that is. Yeah, which I'm getting pretty close. I'm at 178.
I'm basically a very buff, sad clown.
So let me get a good look at Kaylin's face. It's difficult too because it blurs the closer a character's face is to the screen.
Field of view.
Your character's lips look kind of funky.
It's because of the glow.
I see you got a tattoo on your forehead.
Yep.
No, how does my character's face look?
Well,
I mean, you should have already seen it in the stream, but how does it look as a phantom?
A little poutier lipped than usual because of all the glowing.
Let me get up against the wall and see.
I'm beautiful.
We know, Tyler.
I make the best characters.
Yeah, the glow kind of makes it look like my face is made of mud.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I'm Frosty. See, that's my frosting attack. Frosting.
You know, ice didn't become an element until Dark Souls 3. You should have saved it for that.
I should have.
Keep blasting them through your head, but it's not doing anything. Please die. Oh, that went directly through your face.
Well, why can you have completely white skin anyway?
I don't fucking know.
Like, it's so weird.
How do you have white skin and a blue face?
It's a tattoo.
Oh, right. I just remembered. There is another cool item that you can get from the crows pretty early. The white ring.
You can get it from them?
Yes. The white ring is one of a series of items introduced in this game that let you disguise yourself as basically a state of being that you currently are not. So if you're an invader or even a host... Okay, who lured this guy out here?
Tyler.
I didn't leave the room, so I don't know.
Did you approach the door?
Not as much as I thought I did, apparently.
Anyway, like I was saying, if you're a host or an invader, you can equip the white ring and take on the appearance of a white phantom. And if the host or the host's summons are dumb enough, they'll fall for it and you can trick them. I believe there's also rings that let you disguise yourself as a red invader and also as a human. So...
I don't think humans in this game. That one I think is in Dark Souls 3.
The human's not in this? No.
When there's human.
The human ring we're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Then why did you correct us?
It's a joke. It's called a joke.
Oh, sorry, I was confused by the lack of comedy.
Right, exactly. That's the best kind of jokes. I'm a sad clown, what do you expect?
Man, I love how some of these animations I pulled just like smash you directly in the face, it looks like. God. It's so satisfying.
I went to check my email and I forgot to put my tab back on the chat. Yes, praise the sun. Bye, Creed. Yep, so that's probably gonna be where we end the stream. There's lots left to do in just these starting areas. Basically, this is all introducing you to game mechanics and reading a lot of item descriptions and showing off our avatars.
Also, if you go up to like a really dark area, like if you follow me up here. I'm gonna take off my clothes up here. Just look at like how much I glow. Like, do you see that?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm fucking glowy in the dark.
You're almost as bright as we are.
Yeah, I know.
Literally us, just without the actual glow.
Yeah.
I really tried to kill that crystal lizard for you, but it disappeared after I'd already hit it. I don't know how.
I love being this white.
This is a good hiding spot.
Not really. Most invaders know about that spot, and if they see you up there, they'll just throw knives at you. Or cast Soul Geyser.
That would be brutal.
Oh yeah, that's another mechanic that I think only Dark Souls 2 had. I don't know if they brought it back in 3. The spices.
Yeah, that is new.
Basically, there's these items in the game called the Simpleton Spice and the
Skeptic Spice.
Skeptic Spice, that's it. Basically, let's say you have a spell like Crystal Soul Spear that requires a shit ton of intelligence in order to cast in the first place. You don't want to wait until you have that much intelligence to cast Crystal Soul Spear, so what you can do is you can... I think you had to take it to a certain merchant, and you can consume Simpleton's spices to reduce the int requirement for that spell alone until it's as low as your current int, or just as low as you want it.
Which, by the way, means it's possible to cast Crystal Soul Spear with, I think, 5 int.
It is possible, yes.
Yes, but of course it's going to be weak since you only have 5 int, but the point is that you can cast it earlier.
It's not even weak, that's the bad part. It turns out lowering the requirement doesn't actually do all that much to the overall damage.
Well, it still is based on your magic bonus, which is based on your int, so it's going to do something.
It doesn't. It's just not as dramatic as you think it would be.
Right. There actually, if you can actually, there is a build in this game that's referred to as like, what is it? The Idiotic Sorcerer.
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as dramatic as a damage loss as not meeting the stat requirements for weapons. It's half of that kind of damage loss.
Wait, isn't there a limit to how many spices you can use on one spell?
No.
I don't think.
I thought there was. I thought it was like 10, or you couldn't lower an int requirement for a spell below half its original.
That's not the case, because you can lower them as far as you want. I have seen it done, unless they've changed something, or unless my memory is wrong.
Lowers int requirement for spell by 1 to a minimum of 10.
Minimum of 10, okay.
Yeah, you can only bring it down to 10. Which, that's how the 5 int sorcerer works. You wear the ring that gives you 5 int.
Alright.
So you only need 5 int, but it brings you to 10 because of the ring.
Alright, anyway, yeah, I have work tomorrow, so I have to go. So,
okay.
Could you dismiss yourself?
Give me a second. If I die attempting this, that's fine.
No. Do not dismiss. Die. Because if you dismiss, you can get shadow banned.
Right.
Shadow banned?
Banned with it not explicit. It's a type of ban that happens where you're not explicitly told you're banned.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant soft ban, but it seems like shadow ban is an actual term.
It is.
Anyway.
Only used on things like Reddit. Or, the ban from Dark Souls Prepare to Die was a shadow ban, because it wouldn't warn you when you were. But in the remaster, they gave you a warning.
Okay. Well, then I guess this is it for the stream. Bye, everybody. Everybody say bye.
Bye. What kind of stinks is that?
Hold on. Did you say bye, Kaze?
Yeah, he did.
Why does
Close
he sound quieter and quieter?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
A little.
All I did was mute and unmute my mic real quick.
I can hear you.
Well, anyway, bye.